our first international show. And Nick and I are doing the pre-show and working out all of our technical issues. So I'm looking forward to some of you guys being in the chat so that I can know what you're hearing. Ooh, man, this is hitting me wrong. This is hitting me all kinds of wrong. Having it lower than that. Yeah, the light and the camera shooting up into my chin makes my chin go fat. Ooh.
Lighting, man, lighting is like the secret sauce to making anything look good.
Yep, yeah, and there's kind of no option here except for the lights that I have, if you can see.
You could like get your phone, turn the light on, and just like set it under you so that the light's shining up.
I could underlight me? I could do that. Let's see. I don't know that looks any better.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a spooky story, Nick. And there was nothing left on the door but the hook. Yeah, that's not a solution. We're just going to have to deal with what we have. Ooh, hold on a second. I've got all my cords are just all over the freaking place right now.
All the way tangled.
Yeah, I've got like cords and adapters and a bunch of other crap. Let's see, is that any better? No, you just got reflection off my glasses. I don't know, is that any better? Than that?
The other way? Turn it back on? Maybe?
That's normal.
I mean, you're right. I can see the reflection in your glasses, but I mean, I'm used to seeing all the YouTubers like the ring light.
Yeah, the ring light in their eyes.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say that, it's an international show. You guys should just be happy we've got that going. So we got one person watching. Who's in the chat room on Twitch? So yeah, Nick and I are just setting up the show. I think we're going to have an audio show on the regular one. Seems to be going. Looks like there's some kind of weird background noise. Let me double check. We might actually have a show today that goes on time.
Huh. No, I refuse to let that happen.
Okay, it's going to external microphone. It's going to external headset. The loop back is getting you. That seems to be all my insies and my outsies are right. Let's see what this sounds like. It's the refrigerator. That's the background noise. It's the refrigerator. From where I just got my Iceland beer. It's a near beer. It's a 2.5%, or 2.5% near beer.
Okay, is it like, I remember long ago, my dad telling me about a beer he drank in high school in Colorado, and it was like something like that. It was a really low alcohol content. It was like 3/5 or something, or like 1/5, something with fifth in the name.
Now you have me curious. I want to look that up.
It was just like, it was a real low alcohol content beer.
Colorado beer, low alcohol content. Three, two?
Maybe.
Because they have 3-2 beer laws. The legacy of 3-2 beer. Depression era relic will disappear by the end of the year. Depression era drink standard grocery store option. That beverage was 3.2% beer or 3-2 beer. which has survived due to strange quirks of history and law, monopolistic interests, and general bureaucratic apathy. Millions of people drink it. Nobody, as far as I can tell, likes it. State to state, the laws which birthed 3-2 beer may vary. In states like Colorado, 3-2 laws restricted certain retailers like grocery stores from selling any stronger beer. Sometimes, as in Oklahoma and Utah, that severely restricted the ability of people to find normal strength beer due to the lack of approved liquor stores.
Wow, I can't imagine like not being able to find beer outside of a liquor store. I mean, heck, even Safeway has a lot of spirits.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of states to this day you can't buy alcohol. I remember I went to Colorado when I was in college, right after college actually. I went on a road trip with my boyfriend at the time, and we stopped outside of Zion National Park in Colorado, and or was it Utah?
It would have to be Utah.
One of the two. It was
I've
Utah.
been to
It was
Zion.
Utah. Yeah. It was Utah. And we stopped at a Mexican restaurant and we ordered margaritas, and they brought us the margarita and the bottle of tequila. They couldn't add the tequila to the margarita. We had to add the tequila to the margarita because the state sold us the tequila. The restaurant sold us the margarita. So we had to combine them at the table to put them together.
I remember when I went to Zion, the only place to get alcohol was at this like little alcohol store. And no other place had any beer or anything hotter.
Right. So, yeah, we've got AC Wraith in the chat room. Yeah, no, it was not necessary for you to wake up. We're not officially starting the show until later. I just had to figure out some tech, that's all.
Yeah, we're not starting until like 3 over my time. Yeah, no worries, we're good.
Yeah.
I mean, I've still gotta hang up a painting on the back. I've still gotta go get coffee. I've still got so much setup to do. I can hear you getting ready.
Yeah, you can hear that in the distance. Yeah, in the background. Yep. Well, it is definitely past drinking hour at this point.
That's true.
But this is, like I said, this is even less than 3.2 beer. This is 2.25 beer, which is really beer for the taste. It's fine.
Like, yeah, I guess has someone who generally doesn't like the taste of beer, like most beers, I feel like, what's the point of that? I don't actually. Maybe that's
it's a very light beer.
Maybe that's something I would like more because I like the light beers.
This is the lightest tasting beer I've ever tasted.
Okay.
It's really almost a malt beverage rather than a beer.
Okay. Maybe I'll try that. Although you go too far in that direction, my dad had bought this non-alcoholic beer just to try it out, and he hated it. So he gave it to me.
Yeah.
It's not very good. The best way I could describe it is beer soda. Beer flavored soda.
This definitely doesn't. It tastes definitely like beer, but it is like essence of beer. It's like it's there, and then it disappears off your breath, off of your palate.
Okay.
It's a palate cleansing beer. It's what you drink between beers.
Okay.
To cleanse your palate from one beer to the other.
When you're taste testing beers.
Yeah. This definitely cleanses your palate. It is definitely not a real beer. Yeah, it's like, here's the key to Icelandic language. You take the English word and you add a J. I'll give you an example. Let me put down my headset. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Key to Icelandic language. Take the English word, add a J. How would you spell milk? Milk.
Milk.
How do you spell beer? Come on, there we go.
What is it?
Bjor.
Pure. Okay. It's like the J-O replaces E's.
Everything.
Oh, no, like
Everything.
it replaces vowels.
It replaces everything.
Huh.
The J replaces everything.
Okay. That's a good, easy language hack.
Just make it J. So, yeah, I'm still incredibly jet lagged, by the way. All I want to do is sleep right now. All I want to do is sleep.
I mean,
Holy shit.
considering what time it is there, that actually makes sense. That's kind of like the
Yeah,
best
but
type of jet lag.
No, because then you go to sleep and you only sleep 3 hours, and then you spend another 3 hours trying to go back to sleep. Then you get up, you eat, and then you go back to sleep again for another 4 hours. You don't actually sleep 8 hours.
Okay.
At least I'm not sleeping 8 hours at this point. So I have nothing really to show you very Icelandy at this point. I had a short walk today. Was out walking for what,
How long?
2 hours?
How long have you been there at this point?
I got here day before yesterday I landed at 5:45 a.m. and I walked into the apartment at about 6:45. No, let's see, 5:45. I got here about 7:30 after going
Okay.
through customs. And then that first day was a complete wash. Wait, yes, it was yesterday. So that was yesterday. I've only really been here 2 days, although one day, because of time change, was in the air. Because I left on a Friday, arrived at a Saturday at the early morning hours, and then today I woke up this morning and had my first full day of not being completely shitty. Yesterday wasn't too bad. It was bad. It was mostly trying to stay awake.
Oh yeah, and not letting your body fall into its natural sleep cycle, but trying to.
Oh,
Force
yeah,
meal.
because all I wanted to do when I walked in yesterday was drink a bunch of water and go the fuck to sleep. And I could do one, but not the other. Because if I went to sleep, I would sleep 8 hours and then be waking up in the middle of the night. So I forced myself to stay awake by watching Arcane,
Oh yeah, the League of
the
Legends.
League of Legends thing. It really is as good as you said it was.
Yeah, right.
It really, really is good. There's so much nuance to it. And the animation is incredible.
Yeah, I love that style. They're the only people that seem to do that, but it's cool. The kind of digital art movement with the 2D effects.
Yeah, it's so good. So good.
And I think the last 3 episodes drop. They dropped yesterday.
I think
I
they dropped
haven't-
yesterday.
I haven't seen them yet. I did watch the first episode of Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, I
And-
really wanted to watch that, but of course it happened while I was in the air, so.
Yeah, it's okay. Like I said about lighting, there's something about that way the show is lit. It just kind of looks cheap.
Yeah, maybe.
I like what's going on with the characters and the writing, but watching it, I just can't get over like how cheap some of the sets and effects and lighting look. And I feel like it's a stylistic thing. Like they wanted to do that to kind of make it look cartoony and stylized, but yeah, I just don't like the aesthetics. I'm for the writing and the pace of it, and especially like the actors. I think they do a good job, but just the visual aesthetics are kind of rubbing me the
Right.
wrong way.
So, Nick, you are max headrooming again.
What does that mean?
Means, are you hooked up to your internet hardwire?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, you're really bad. Not your voice, but you're just a white blob right now on the screen. Yeah, that's all not good. I can't see fingers. Now you're frozen. Yeah. Do you want to restart?
Yeah, I'll restart.
Okay.
Well, first let me leave and come back and see if that does anything, and then I'll
Okay.
restart the whole computer.
And I'm wondering if I want to switch locations just because the lighting at this table is so particularly bad because I have a light, but it's right there above me. And it's just looks awful. All right, so yes, I am in Iceland. This is Iceland. I did not plan this. This is just the way this happened. I am right there. This whole thing has 350,000 people in it. And it is 10,000 waterfalls. Uh-oh. Shit. Hold on a second. We got problems. Stand by, guys. I know it's what you're hearing. I know you're hearing a bunch of really awful sounds, and that's because I need to get my license key for Loopback because it's not on this computer. I had to download it, and I totally forgot about it. I'm glad this is happening before the real show. Stand by. There we go. Had to recover my key for Loopback. Sorry about all of that horrible noise, guys. That was not intentional. Do we have you back? All right, Nick is back. There you are.
Am I better?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Way better.
Okay, cool.
So I was saying that this is, let's expand us out. This is Iceland. I'm right there. I flew into right there, and I took a taxi from there to there. That took 40 minutes. And it cost me $155.
Really? Holy crap.
Yeah. I went down to the supermarket. I bought a bunch of vegetables and cheese and some other stuff and 3 chicken breasts. 3 chicken breasts are $15 at the supermarket.
Huh. Wow.
It's, everybody says Iceland's expensive, but we come from the Bay Area. Everything is expensive there. Yeah, no, even by Bay Area standards, it's expensive. Oh, you guys didn't have any noise? Oh, that's right. You wouldn't have any noise. What would happen is the noise for the audio, which I have not started, the audio podcast. So, yeah, it's cold.
It looks like you're in a big ass robe.
Yeah, no, this is my
Whatever.
yeah. I should actually be cranking because heat is free here. Heat and electricity is free for
That's
Iceland.
probably good.
Because they are 75% hydroelectric from all of the 10,000 waterfalls, and the rest of it is geothermal from all the volcanoes. So
Huh.
they are 100% sustainable energy that is all generated locally. But yeah, I guess I could turn up the radiators. Yeah, it's radiators here. It's not it's not like wall heaters with
Yeah,
thermostat.
central
It's
air.
the radiator at the thing. I could turn them
Wow.
up.
I've never had a radiator.
I've never had a radiator either. I mean, I've been in places with radiators, but usually it's like it's actually kind of warm. I turned it up right before I started. Radiators tend to be things that you find in the East Coast or really old places, but here it is, you know, even modern stuff has radiators.
Hmm.
And I am a block away from the super famous church, Hallsgrimkja, and I'm a block away from the main, one of the main shopping, like uphill 1 block is the church, downhill 1 block is the main like drag, and around the
Nice.
corner is pretty much understood by everyone the best bakery in
Okay.
in Reykjavik. And I went there this morning to get what everybody says are the world's best cinnamon buns, cinnamon rolls.
Hmm. They
They're
live
the
up
world's
to the
best
hype.
cinnamon rolls.
Uh,
They live up to the hype.
that's always good when something lives up.
Those cinnamon rolls are godly, godly. They're they're like the opposite of Cinnabon. Like Cinnabon smells great, tastes like shit.
Mm.
These don't have that super like slam you in the face cinnamon smell to them, but they taste amazing. They're a little bit crusty on the outside, but the inside of them, the further you like eat into the center, they get gooier and stickier. They don't have that white frosting. It's just powdered sugar on top.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh,
Hmm.
yeah, they're less bready and more just gooey. Oh. Hallgrimskirk, yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'll show you. Um, and let's see if I can pull this up. So there's a reason why Iceland is known for its metal and for its goth music. Stand by. Let's see. Will it let me do it? Is it going to share it? Chrome has lost permission to capture your screen.
Aw.
This is why we're doing all of this. I have to go to my system preferences to... Yeah, I'm using Kevin's computer because I bought him a computer pretty much the last year of his death. So we had total ability to be able to use like the best stuff. Screen recording, Chrome, yes. Will not be able to record the contents of your screen until it is quit. Okay, I have to quit and reopen. So you stay here, Nick. I'll be right back.
Okay. Sitting here talking with you people. I've been trying to look up some news, any news that is not related to Activision. And thankfully, the Discord has been really good for that. But I don't know. How's everyone doing? Anyone got like plans for Thanksgiving? I am at the start of a week vacation. So
So am I.
yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna use this time to try to binge stuff that I've been putting off, play a lot of games. Okay. Before I start, I need to go actually get something to drink.
Okay.
Which means I got to.
Here we go. There's a reason why. There's a like. You want evidence of how goth, how metal this place is? Their church is made of teeth.
What?
Their church is made of teeth. Look at this. Can it get any more fucking metal than that?
Those are teeth?
No, I mean, it's like, all jagged edges. Looks like teeth. That's
Okay.
Holgrim's Kirkja.
Looks like teeth, not actually human teeth.
No, it looks like teeth.
This isn't like a Paris catacombs type of thing.
No, it's not like Paris catacombs. Yeah,
It's still cool.
and there's a big Viking sitting out front with an axe.
Yeah.
So-
I don't know how you need to somehow get Assassin's Creed Valhalla on that computer and just, play it on a laptop out in the area.
Mm-hmm.
So, 9 in.
All right, go get something to drink.
Cat down.
I will be here. So, Bitter says, are they like Bethesda sweet rolls? Yeah, they are. They're not as big because Bethesda sweet rolls are usually really big and high. These are not big and high. They're just a roll. But what they lack in size, they make up in just pure cinnamon power. Thank you very much. Hey, Alan Casper. Welcome. So yeah, first day, and all I want to do is sleep. All I want to do is sleep. And it's really, really hard to bust out of this jet lag thing when you go to sleep and it's dark, and you wake up and it's dark, and you've got 5 hours of daylight, which is like between noon and 4:30ish, and by 5 o'clock the sun is set, and then you're trying to be like, okay, my body wants me to go to sleep because the sun is set, but you can't because it's not even dinner time. It's like not even early dinner time at that point. So, yeah, that's so far I'm enjoying it. AC Ray says, I have my Fireball eggnog again. It mixes with orange juice different than... What the fuck? Orange juice and eggnog? That sounds awful. That sounds wrong. It's sort of a thick Russian tea due to the cinnamon. That sounds like what it might taste like when you threw up backwards. That's gross. Am I the only one here that thinks the concept of orange juice and eggnog? He says it's wonderful. Anyone else? Yeah, thank you very much, Blood Reaper. Right there with you. Ew. Ew. So, have you not yet? Well, there's snow. I saw snow on the ground as I was coming in from the airport, but I was like, I couldn't see anything because it was dark. But I could see like white patches. It's not due to snow until the end of the week. So I'll get snow for Thanksgiving, I think, or maybe the day after. Bitter says, I wish it was like that in Cook County. I'm a night person. Well, in Iceland during the winter, everybody's a night person. It's all night people. There is no other way.
That sounds cool.
So yeah, I guess it's that time. We are past time.
Also, orange juice and eggnog. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, we were just having that conversation. That
What?
sounds disgusting.
Part of me wants to try it because I ran out of the rum and eggnog, so I need to buy some more. But wait, I like the idea. I like putting beer in my orange juice. What? They're completely,
That's like saying I like putting toothpaste in my orange juice.
they're completely different flavors. Like one's
Yeah.
bitter, one's sweet.
AC Ray says you have to cut it with something because it's so sweet. I don't drink alcohol, so I don't drink, so alcohol's out. Milk works, but really just weakens it. Juice adds flavor. Yeah, but is it the right flavor?
Oh wait, are you cutting the eggnog because it's so sweet? I
Or
didn't
the
think
orange juice?
Yeah, it would have to be the orange juice.
It says it's good with apple juice too. Ugh. Yeah, I cannot endorse that.
I don't know. I'm crazy enough to try it. He says the eggnog. What kind of eggnog are you drinking that's so sweet? Like the only eggnog I've had is, kind of milk-like, where it has the nog flavor, but it's a savory flavor. It's not sweet.
Now, you're cutting it with milk. Have you thought about cutting it with half and half?
Me?
No.
Oh,
AC Wraith. No, you and I can cut it with what you're supposed to cut it with, and that's rum or brandy. I like brandy.
I mean, that would just make it thicker. The eggnog is more spicy. I do like the idea of Fireball whiskey in eggnog. That sounds kind of good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that.
Eggnog.
The cinnamon?
Yeah.
Yeah. AC Ray says half and half is about the same. Yeah, I don't get it. All right, so should we start the show? Let me set up the show.
Yes. I'm ready. I've got my cat. I've got my cool shit in the background. I got my coffee. I got everything that I need to talk about.
And, that's not what I wanted to do. I've got my notes. I have everything about essentially we have to do our titles before we do this. Oh, I don't have the GameHounds image. I can drop an image there? What can I drop? Shit. What can I drop? Open it with preview. Can I save it? Save it to Iceland. Okay, we're just going to have to use the photo that I have for the GameHounds, because I don't have the GameHounds logo on this computer. Things. Upload area. Oh, well. I guess we're just not getting a picture this time. Don't save a copy. We're good. But before we start that show, let's get our banners sorted out. What games do you have to talk about?
Library of Ruina. Mm-hmm. Still. And Halo Infinite. Jesus Christ. Thank God there's no fuzz on the end of this microphone. It's just plastic. So as he chews on it, he's not going to destroy it too bad. What does that sound like when he's doing that?
It sounds like you might imagine.
It sounds exactly like what I'm hearing.
Just more intense. All right, and I don't have anything to talk about games-wise because I've been a little bit busy.
You've been flying.
Yep.
Can you still hear me when I have it up here?
I can. It's just not as good.
What if I move it?
Perfect.
Okay, good.
There we go. Good. And let's see now. What news? Oh, I don't have any news sounders. Oh, well, we're just going to have to go without everything. We got the this week in the Activision Blizzard Shitshow. Let me get all of these old.
No, the cat doesn't want a hug. The cat wants a play. And yeah, I did get rid of the cool stubble.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed. Okay,
well,
so
like I said, I'm off this week, so next Sunday it'll just be.
Let's see. Wall Street Journal investigation. Gosh, I should have done this earlier. So we know so much has come out about that Wall Street Journal. Let's see. Kotick attended sorry, this is terrible podcasting. There's so much to write about. Do me a favor, Nick. Can you look up the name, or maybe AC Wraith can do it faster, the name of the co-lead with Jen O'Neill of Blizzard?
I feel like it was Ryan something.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike Ybarra.
That's it, Mike Ybarra. I should know that because one of my bosses I work for, it's like his name is Mike Ybarra, but not that Mike Ybarra. Oh. All right, that's about all the things I had for that. Let's see. I have the Games Awards
Yes.
nominees.
That will be at least a fun thing to discuss as opposed to Activision.
Yeah. I have Blizzard designed Warlock set that looks like KKK robes.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Rockstar apologizes with free games.
Okay.
The Playdate gets delayed. The handheld console. Let's see. The Xbox Series S is outselling the Series X in key markets. I guess just Series S doing well. To shorten that.
I think that's all. I can fit it. Yeah, that'll fit.
Okay.
What else you got? I think it's enough. It's a lot. I mean, the ABK thing is gonna be a long.
Yeah, that's a lot. And
It's like 10 stories.
I also feel like I have a lot to say about Halo.
Perfect. Okay. So then let's. You want to start the show?
Yeah.
All right. Let's start the show. Hey, everybody. Welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 618. We are live. One of us is in Iceland. You can guess which one, because there is no music today because I forgot to download all of the soundtracks. So we don't have a news sounder. We don't have intro music. We don't have outro music, but we have Nick and we have Edie. I'm Edie Sellers. Welcome to GameHounds. And with me is Nick DeNicola. Hey, Nick, how are you?
Hey, I am good.
Good. Yeah, I am in Reykjavik, Iceland, for my week off for Thanksgiving. This is my jam. Never been here. I don't know anyone here. I'm traveling alone. I have a lovely little apartment. Would you like a tour of the apartment?
Sure.
I will take you. It's a very short tour. All right, so we're taking you on the tour of the apartment. First off, it is 2 o'clock Pacific time where Nick is. It is 10 o'clock at night, and pretty much, can you see it? Let's see if you can see. See that big tower in the back?
Yeah.
That's Hallsgrim Kirk.
Okay, that's the tooth church.
That's the tooth church. The church that looks like a tooth. So yeah, let's see. We'll take you around. There's my dirty dishes that I have to clean before we go to bed. There's my front door.
Okay.
And you come in the front door, and there's my
solid door
where I've been living at this table, trying to get everything working. Got a nice little couch over here, which is where I almost did the show, but it's such a deep couch that I fall over backwards. And got a bedroom. And that's it. That is the whole place. We just went on a full tour.
Pretty sparse, but you know what? It looks like a San Francisco apartment.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a little bit, it's kind of funny. It's all IKEA. But for some reason, that seems to make sense. Well, not for some reason. It's Scandinavian. It makes sense. So yeah, that's where I am, and that's where I'm going to be for the next week. So we're next two shows. Yeah, next two shows are going to be here. So, what you been doing, Nick?
I remember last week I was talking about I bought some art. But I didn't pick it up in time. Mm-hmm. And one of those things is this Godzilla wall scroll.
I love that wall scroll. I remember when you got it, and I just thought it was so genius.
Yeah, it's really cool too. Just I like the Japanese woodblock style art. I actually have a lot of things. I have 3 prints like that on a wall. One of The Witcher, which is new, then Sekiro and Shadow of the Colossus. But then I got this, which is an actual woodblock painting.
Nice.
Because Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy VII means a lot to me. But just, I don't know, watching the people make that and realizing, for every color, you need a different carved block. And every color is like, rub it on there, take it off, rub it on there. Like, knowing that process and looking at it, it's like, oh shit, that's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
So, yeah, I'm really happy with how both of them turned out.
Bitter says, how do you feel about Elden Ring being Xbox and PC exclusive?
It's not.
It's
Like,
not?
I was just looking that up when I saw that. And
Is
it
it?
looks like it's a rumor more than anything
Oh.
else. But there's no news that it's exclusive. I mean, I've
Bitters-
seen ads for it on PlayStation. I can
Carpets?
pre-order it.
There's the carpets. You don't have in Iceland. There's just it's too wet and too wet and too muddy. Even during the summertime, it rains like hell. So they have no carpets in this country. A carpet business would go out of business. So what you been playing? I didn't play anything this week. I downloaded 3 games onto my laptop to play on the plane. I downloaded, where is it? My desktop. I downloaded RimWorld, which I wanted to play. I downloaded Town of Salem, and I downloaded Crusader Kings, and I already had Project High Rise on this computer. And honestly, the seats were so narrow. It was barely playable when everybody was in the straight up back position. Once the guy in front of me leaned back, then it was like the computer literally was hitting me in my stomach because it's just too narrow. So I couldn't play any games, but it was fine. I needed to sleep anyway, so
That's when you put your seat back and the person behind you puts their
right.
seat back. And
It's this domino effect. Yeah, the Iceland Air has incredibly narrow seats. I thought Alaska Airlines had narrow seats, and then I tried Iceland Air. It's got to be the legal minimum for safety.
That sucks.
They cram as many people as possible into that plane.
Especially for how long that flight is.
Well, it's only just about 7 hours, a little under 7 hours.
That's a long time.
It is a long time, especially when it's 7 hours and it leaves at 2:00 in the afternoon and arrives at 5:45 in the morning, so that everybody's trying to sleep on the plane.
Oh, yeah.
But I was fortunate I had a kid next to me, a little kid. Not little kid. He was probably 10, 11. So he was not a crying baby. And he was little. So it was like, good. You just sit there.
Okay.
And he was watching Godzilla. You just sit there. You watch Marvel movies. I'm going to crash on the window over here. It's fine.
Which Godzilla was you watching?
I don't remember. I just saw a Godzilla foot come crashing down. And I was like,
Okay.
all right, cool.
Okay.
As long as, I can go to sleep.
As long as he's entertained.
So yeah, what did you play?
So, EA has been having some trouble with Battlefield. Like,
To
this
say the
is
least.
the in-between phase of people that bought the special editions getting to play it early, and there's a week before it released fully this past Friday. In that time, just to rub salt into the wound that is Battlefield 2042, Xbox decided to surprise drop the Halo Infinite multiplayer. And so they had a little showcase, and at the end of it, they're like, hey, guess what? You can go play Halo now. So I went and played some Halo, and I've been playing it for the past couple days. And it's good, but I also really, really feel like it's an old school design philosophy that's really butting heads against modern design philosophies in a way that I don't think really works. So Halo, the old school part of Halo is that it's a multiplayer shooter that doesn't have any loadouts. Like, you're not leveling up your character to unlock new weapons and gear or anything like that. It's the kind of game where all of the weapons spawn on the map. So everyone always starts with like the assault rifle and pistol. And no matter how high level you are, no matter what, that's always going to be your starting area, your starting equipment. If you want to use any other type of weapon, you need to find it on the map, which took me a bit to get used to because it's so unlike. I have not played Halo for several years. Uh, I played a lot of multiplayer for 1, 2, and 3. I played the campaign of the other games up to 4, and then I just completely skipped 5. And so it's been a while since I've encountered a game like this before. So it kind of took a little bit of mental rejiggering to realize, okay, I have to explore these maps and find where different weapons spawn in order to use them. Other than that, it's pretty good. The moment-to-moment gameplay is really fun. The matchmaking is actually really good. I've gotten into a lot of matches that are just neck and neck, where I can tell from the way people move that I'm playing against people at my skill level. Because I can see the way they jump and move. Oh, you're not dodging like these other assholes do that I can't hit. I can actually kill you. So it's nice to be able to play a game like that. It's also a little surprising. Again, just that mental rejiggering. The games are pretty small. The basic team size is 4 against 4. And as someone that the most recent multiplayer game that I played, Chivalry 2 is still like 30 against 30.
Yeah.
And
It's huge.
Battlefield is always like that. So to go from
64, isn't it?
yeah, to go to 4v4, and even the big team battles are 16 against 16. It, it's quaint in a fun way. It's like, oh man, I remember when games were like this. Which like, I don't want it to sound condescending. It's just I haven't played a game like this in a good long time. Where I think it doesn't quite work is with the battle pass, which is kind of a modern gaming invention that's very much based around progressing a character and leveling up. Whereas this design philosophy of find the weapons on the map, everyone's got the same loadout, is sort of like just the complete opposite of that philosophy. So the way they try to resolve that is the battle pass just has cosmetic items. Change the way your helmet looks, change the color of your armor, all that stuff. But to level up the battle pass, you have to complete challenges. That's the only way. So
Right.
if you're watching this and you see you kill a guy and the little 100 points pops up, those points are kind of meaningless. Because you can go through a round, you can be the top scoring person, and you cannot level up the battle pass at all if you don't complete the right challenges.
Oh God.
And those challenges are fairly simple things like, kill 5 enemies with a battle rifle, play an oddball match, things like that. And I remember way back when Battlefield 5 first came out, they had things that they called assignments, which were basically the same thing. Heal 10 people, kill 5 people with an SMG, that type of thing. And I really loved those in that game because I thought they added like a wonderful sauce on top of the normal progression. Because in that game, oh, I need to kill 5 people with an SMG, I'm just going to spawn with an SMG and go kill people. Oh, I need to play a round of Conquest in Battlefield. I'm just going to go to the menu, select Conquest, and play that round. And I know I will satisfy that assignment. And so they were really fun to complete. In this game, you can't choose a multiplayer map. You can't choose a...
so it makes it harder for you to actually... It's luck whether you complete certain...
So, like the other night, I had a challenge to play an oddball match. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to hit quick play because that's kind of all you can do. And I got into a Slayer match, which is basically just team deathmatch. Like, okay, I'm just going to keep playing. Next round, Slayer. Next round, Slayer. Next round, Stronghold. I'm like, fuck this. I'm going to go to big team battles, see if that's any different. Slayer. Slayer. I got another Slayer, and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna quit out now. So I got one, quit out, went to another game, quit out. On my ninth fucking game of the evening, it was Oddball. And I played it and we won and it was a fine, fun time. But like that frustration of you can only progress by completing these challenges, but the way the game is designed, completing the challenges feels like
Really
it's a lot
hard.
more, it, way harder than it should be for something so simple.
Right.
And when you have something like kill 5 people with a battle rifle, well, first I have to find a map that has the rifle on it. I need to find where the rifle spawns. I need to hope that someone else hasn't picked it up. And then when I finally get my hands on it, I need to actually be able to kill people with it. And so it's just
Miserable.
yeah.
It's a terrible idea to have those to have those challenges in there when they're not easily completable.
Yeah, and they're
That
not easily
it's
completable.
even potentially a source of frustration, especially when you're releasing this early. I mean, I can see if maybe later they change that so that you can actually pick the type of multiplayer you go into.
Yeah, I hope they do. I will say, everyone fucking hates it. So like, I think the early multiplayer came out on a Tuesday. By Wednesday, they had patched it a little bit so that one of the daily challenges was play a match.
Right.
Before, the daily challenge was another type of, kill X number of people, play a certain match. So now it's just play a match. So no matter what you do, you'll always complete that one daily challenge.
Good.
But, that's very clearly a Band-Aid on top of a system that's kind of
Broken.
but it is funny that, like, everyone agrees. Yeah, hey, this is really cool. This is fun. The battle pass sucks. And again, it just feels like that old school design philosophy of, hey, just play the match and have fun, learn the maps, that type of thing, with the modern design philosophy of you need to level up, you need points, you need a progression system. Like, how do you add a progression system on top of a game design that just naturally rejects a progression system?
Right.
So I sympathize with them for having to figure that out. But that doesn't mean that I don't think they figured it out. I don't know the answer, but that's not my job.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, it's worth saying, just the moment-to-moment playing of the game is genuinely fun. Halo
Feels like Halo.
it feels like Halo, and it still feels really good. Like, the guns have a good kick to them. The maps, even once I learn it, I'm beginning to realize, oh, I see the guy going that way, I'll take a shortcut and cut him off. Like I said, the matchmaking is really good, so I'm generally speaking teamed up with people my appropriate skill level, so I'm not always just getting rocked. So yeah, it is for something that was dropped out of the blue. It's pretty good.
Good.
Yeah,
Good. We needed a little good news about Halo.
yeah. I'm looking forward to the campaign because that's the campaign doesn't have those same issues. I don't need to progress through the campaign like
Right.
stat wise. So yeah, I'll prefer that.
So what else you been playing? Oh, I forgot to put that up there too. Sorry, I've been have what color my carpet's still out there. What other games have you been seeing?
More of Library of Ruina, which
Oh,
I swear to God, for such a convoluted fucking game with its systems, with its story, it is still like kind of amazing.
really?
The more I play of it, the more I get into it because it scratches a deeply scratches that RPG character building itch. And not character building as in personalities and likes and dislikes, but the stat aspect to it. Like, this guy is good with slashes and burning and all that. So as I've gone into it and has its, I think I said this last week, the more mechanics that it introduces, the more previous mechanics make sense. Well, like over the past week, you have at this point I have 6 teams of librarians in this library. And that seems kind of weird. Like, why do I have so many teams? Well, I got into a fight that was like 3 stages long, and what that means is I can do it with multiple teams of librarians. Well, I send one team in on wave 1, they fight it. The next wave, I send another team in. And so it makes sense that you want to outfit multiple teams. And then what I've come to realize is like each team has its own like set of abilities. And before, when the battles were pretty easy, I didn't really need to care about their abilities. But now, when I have to like switch teams up, all of a sudden I have to remember, oh wait, this team has an ability that protects me against slashing damage. Maybe they're not the best against these enemies because these enemies don't do slashing damage. So maybe I'll do a different team. And it's that clarification of things. What I've come to really adore about it is that this is the type of game where you can't overthink it. You can think your way out of every problem. Because it's an RPG, but there's no experience, so you're not leveling up. So there's no like artificial difficulty of a boss where you just have to go grind a couple levels to get stronger. So every fight feels very authored and very like purposely designed, so that every enemy has weaknesses. So at the start of a match, when I'm looking at the enemy team and my team, I can see everything that the enemy is going to do. I can see the strengths and weaknesses. I can see the cards that they're going to play against me. So I can just spend a good 30 to 40 minutes looking at them and outfitting my team appropriately. And it's that slow process of creating a plan of, oh, this guy's weak against Pierce. My guy does all Pierce. So, Bill is going to attack enemy 1. Bob is going to attack enemy 2. Amy's going to attack enemy 3. And then my last guy is just going to be an all-arounder who's going to try to pick up the slack. And that creation of a plan, seeing how it plays out in the battle, because, this is kind of a card game with a lot of dice throwing. So no plan ever really goes perfectly. But it all works well enough together that when you have a good plan, everything just clicks. Like the other week, I was fighting these guys with guns, and I think I said last week the difficulty of that is when you go with a head-to-head, they always get to go first because they have ranged, and my guys have melee. So no matter what I roll, even if my attacks are better, they still get to go first. Well, because the guns are all piercing damage, because, it's a projectile, I just outfitted my guys to protect them against all that. And all of a sudden, this enemy team that had just slaughtered me the first time I fought them, I wiped them out. And it's that satisfying feeling of knowing, oh, these guys slaughtered me before, but I came in with the proper plan, the proper team, the proper counter attacks, and I slaughtered them this time. And so it's that RPG process of making a character, making a plan, and seeing it all come to fruition. And the game just executes on that so goddamn good. It's still like hard for me to recommend because it's very convoluted, and like I said, from the beginning it just throws out all these icons at you, and a lot of it feels like it doesn't make sense. But over time, as you start to be able to read it, it's like reading the Matrix, where all these symbols and stuff, I know what he's going to do, I know what I have to do. It's like, I've got you. So it is a weird game, but it's kind of incredible.
Nice.
Yeah, I can absolutely see why some people like drop 100 hours into it, just because I was up till 4:30 last night playing it, and that's because like I was sitting there on the stat screen, like, oh, I've got some new cards, so I got a bunch of new cards that do good blunt damage. Well, let me go see my current blunt damage build, and like try to outfit stuff there. And do. It's all the little intricate stat planning and maneuvering, and then I look and realize it's been an hour and a half. It's like,
Oh,
oh
wow.
Jesus! But
Yeah, I love those kind of games, but I also hate them because they are such time vampires.
yeah, yeah, it really is. But like I'm solidly enjoying it. I'm also enjoying the story. Like I said, I still won't have a full grasp of what's going on, but that feels it feels purposeful, because
Good.
your point of view character is like just a low level gangster who kind of stumbled into this giant city spanning conspiracy, and his whole attitude is, I don't know what the fuck's going on, I'm just trying to get by.
So I notice with many of the videos that I bring up of the gameplay that there's a lot of non-gameplay stuff, a lot of dialogues going
A
back
lot
and
of like
forth.
visual novel.
Yeah, visual novel. Is that a plus or a minus for you?
I mean, I don't mind visual novels, so I find it a plus. It's basically just the cutscene. It's a cutscene of the story, and the slow reveal of these characters and their history. I feel like it's dealing with a lot of pretty grand sci-fi ideas. So this is a direct sequel to Lobotomy Corporation, and I think AC Wraith and Chad had mentioned that a couple weeks ago. And like, it is a direct sequel. The characters, most of the characters, are from that game. Then they directly reference their time in that game, such that all of the librarians sort of talk about having 3 lifetimes, where they like live their normal lifetime as a human. When they got somehow changed into an AI for the spending, however centuries long in running the Lobotomy Corporation, and now they have their 3rd lifetime as this weird librarian. And so it's like each of these different characters is kind of dealing with this passage of time, dealing with like 3 lifetimes worth of, ups and downs and regrets and failings. And it's interesting. I don't know if it handles everything super well, but like it just throws out a lot of big ideas real quickly in a way that, I appreciate. It's never boring.
That's good. So, might as well, since I didn't play any games, I know that's all the games that you played. Anything else that you played before we want to move on?
No, that's it.
All right. I just realized that one of the reasons why my thing might look awful is I didn't clean my screen. That might help too. Not really. Okay. So, nothing else to talk about before we move on? No. I'm a little afraid because we're about to talk about the Activision Shitshow, and guess who's coming on in just a few minutes?
A goalie? Goalie's coming on?
Yeah. So while we're talking about the Activision Shitshow, that's not going to go well. So let's hit the news. Do you want to do the honors and faking the beep, 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 beep? This is the GameHounds news, the news, and commentary of the week in gaming with gamer Edie and Nick DiNicola. And our first item is this week in the Activision Blizzard shit show. We thought it was bad, then it got worse, and it has hit a new level of holy shit. It is so much worse than we thought.
So I was listening to the Waypoint podcast, and the guys there kind of made a good point when they said, the last we heard, Bobby Kotick took the pay slash. He gave some concessions to the workers, the union, and Patrick on the podcast was saying that's normally how this thing goes, right?
Right.
The company gives these concessions that are honestly really minor in the grand scheme of things,
right?
And then you kind of wait for things to blow over.
Right.
But with Activision, every time Activision has tried to do that, something else has come out. And it's just this, there's always something else, always something else. Like
The hole is so much deeper than I think anybody believed.
And every single
And
time,
I still believe it's still deeper.
oh yeah, like every single time Activision's like, we've got a ladder. Okay, we're gonna go up. Can we move on? No.
No, no. Well, it also is that they've got multiple things to deal with. It's not just employees that are concerned. It's not just the SEC that is concerned. It is not just the EEOC is concerned. It's not just the DFEH that's concerned. Then now, on top of that, I don't think any Wall Street... they've had articles that have come out, like Riot, where they've been articles that are video game resource related. Like, it's usually been Jason Schreier or somebody within that's covering the video game industry, which is its niche. Mm-hmm. This week, non-niche Wall Street Journal had a massive, massive story. The two reporters dug deep, and they have it shows you the difference between Jason Schreier, who is very, very good, and the people at Wall Street Journal. The old phrase about this is why they make the big bucks. This is why they make the big bucks.
I mean, kind of agree. In general, I think Wall Street Journal is pretty shitty. It's, as per the name, as you might expect, it has not met a Wall Street dick that it wouldn't suck. Like, It's named after Wall Street.
Right.
So it's a very pro-corporate and generally anti-employee publication.
It is.
Having this come out of them feels genuinely surprising.
Yes. So, hey, guess we got in the chat. I have to get my screen up here. Insert name. Insert name here, really? Is that your name?
Oh, damn, I did not put my name in?
Yeah, that's just the default. It's
been a long... How are you guys?
We're good.
Gee, we're
How
all
you
over
doing?
the world here. We got you in, what, California still, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And we got you... Really? Iceland? How is it out there? What's the time difference?
Nick, it's, 3 o'clock in the afternoon now?
Yep.
And me, it is almost 11 o'clock at night.
So I'm in the middle. I'm at 6. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's like Greenwich time, right? 5 hours? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah. So you have like normal time, and the rest of us are on weird time. How is normal time? Yeah. How is normal time?
Who, me?
Yeah.
It's dark.
Well, it's 11.
The sun... Well, right, but it's dark like this all the time. The sun rises... Fuck you. The sun rises at 11 o'clock in the morning, and it goes down at 4:30 in the afternoon.
11 a.m. Really? Yeah. I know that there's places out there. I don't know if it's Iceland. There's a place out there that I know people go out there to golf, and they golf at 2 a.m. because it's bright sunlight.
That's pretty much everything north. Yeah. It's during the summertime. And that's how it is here. The sun goes down, I think the shortest period of time for Iceland is something like 45 minutes or an hour in the summertime. So it's daylight, which is kind of nice because all the apartments here all have blackout curtains.
Yeah, they would need to.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a standard. So it's cold. It's probably about as cold as it is here as it is there. It's just above freezing here. And
I don't know what you're talking about. It's like
We're 50 degrees where I am. We're 50.
we'll be 40 degrees tomorrow or the next day, and then we get down into it never cracks 33, 32. Well,
yeah.
no, it never cracks 30. I want to say Friday.
Now, how long are you there?
I am here until a week from tomorrow. I'm here until Monday of next week.
Okay. Oh, wow. You're going to be there a little while, huh? Through Thanksgiving?
All the way through Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow.
That's why I came out here.
Now, the
Thanksgiving.
electrical plugs out there, are they the European plugs? Are they this? Do you need
Yep.
adapters?
Yep, adapters. Oh yeah, I've got my adapters all right here.
Do you have?
It's all the 2-prong ones.
Did you have an adapter for everything that you brought? Phones,
Phones, computer.
toothbrushes, anything else that hums that you need to,
The toothbrush is battery powered.
Yeah, it's an excellent electric toothbrush. That's what it was.
It's an electric toothbrush.
You know what's weird?
Yeah.
My wife has an electric toothbrush, and it charges in the bathroom, and it's a USB plug.
That's what they do now.
I'm like, if there's an adapter for the wall, but I'm like,
Yep.
so I can just plug this into my computer, like, zzz, I'm checking my email, brush my teeth.
Well, at that point, you just use it to clean the keyboard.
Oh, that's a good idea. And then teeth first, then keyboard, or keyboard, then teeth.
Those electric
It depends on your
toothbrushes are the secret weapon of landlords everywhere. That you can clean the shit, like make a floor look new, because you can get into the corners and you just go right down the corners and it takes out
Really?
everything.
Probably gets into like all the grout areas. And
All the
stuff.
grout,
Yeah.
absolutely. All this, and you don't have to. Oh yeah, they're fantastic.
Didn't know that.
Yep. So, all right. Getting back to the Wall Street Journal shit show. This week in the Activision Blizzard shit show, Wall Street Journal came out with holy shit, a lot of revelations. So, they had one former employee who was named and went on the record, a woman named Ashley Mark. She worked at Sledgehammer Games, because one of the things that has been kind of put out there is that this problem was mostly a Blizzard problem. Yeah. Turns out, no, it wasn't mostly a Blizzard problem. Ashley Mark from Sledgehammer Games came out. She was hired to work on something called Call of Duty World War II. You remember that?
Yeah.
And she was only one of about 20 women in that company out of hundreds of people, more than 200 people in that company. She was only one of 20 women. She said drinking and partying at the office was commonplace. In 2017, there was an employee named Edward Rourke who came in and everybody was at the party. They're all talking together. This guy, who was a supervisor, comes over and grabs one of his female subordinates in kind of a headlock and puts her in a bit of a chokehold and just starts saying her name over and over in her ear and hugging her and putting his hands all over her. And everyone was kind of stunned, but it's like, it was a supervisor. They didn't really is this okay to be doing? Because it doesn't feel right. And he tried to hug her, this woman named Ashley. She moved away. He was investigated for a harassment incident. He said later that it was stupid that he'd gotten that drunk. He got a 2-week suspension and returned to that same role, overseeing that same woman who he had put his hands all over. And he was only fired from the company when he'd had an argument with a manager about his green card. That cube crawls, where these were absolutely
fine, but immigrants are where we draw the line.
Right, exactly. The cube crawls where women were subjected to and essentially were manhandled. No pun intended. They had meetings in strip clubs. There was a lot of pressure to drink and party all the time. And though it's not unheard of for tech companies to have a beer tap in the office, the alcohol policy, drinking on the job, was abused so much to the point where supervisors would be sitting in their cubicle with a bottle of whiskey and getting drunk in their cubicle all day long. One of the employees there would sign his email signature 1-800-ALLCOCK. And everybody thought it was hilarious, but he was sending this out to female employees. And women were just essentially made to believe that this is just how it is at Activision. Guy that was the 1-800 Alcock was eventually fired, but when he was fired, even when people were fired after investigations found them guilty of assault or harassment or inappropriate behavior around women, they were usually praised about saying, and their departure. They were usually said their departure was for something else, and these persons were praised as they walked out the door, ignoring the fact that they were fired because they had assaulted people.
So what I got from a lot of the reaction from it is that, like, as CEOs usually do when stuff like this comes out, Bobby Kotick was like, I didn't know about this. This is awful. We need to change. I'll be at the forefront of helping things change. But what this thing shows is that, like, he knew about all of that and he helped cover it up. And he even wrote the initial letter of response.
Oh, I forgot about that one. The letter of response from Fran Townsend that got so much heat that he went back and called tone deaf. He actually was the one who wrote it and signed Fran Townsend's name to it.
Yeah.
But I think the most damning information that came out of it was that this investigation found emails, memos from throughout that time that had to do with assaults. In one instance in 2006, an assistant, take that back. In July 2018, Bobby Kotick received an email from an attorney who said that, and other executives at Activision received the same email, and it was from a lawyer who alleged that her client, who was a former Sledgehammer employee, was raped twice by her supervisor, and that the email alleged that the employee had complained to HR about it, and that her supervisors, about her supervisor, and nothing. She complained to her supervisors, she complained to HR, nothing was done. And after it happened a second time, she actually filed a police report. And according to the email, the victim was told by HR to, quote unquote, reframe the situation in a different light and to be more positive after being sexually assaulted by her supervisor. Kotick received the email. The company quickly settled the case out of court. Kotick never told the board of directors about the allegations and never told them about the settlement. Activision said that it had an investigation, and the supervisor said that he was too intoxicated to remember what happened. But he agreed with the characterizations of the assault, and 2 months after they received the email, the supervisor was fired and left the company with a glowing letter of, we owe so much to him and he's such a wonderful guy. Kotick also apparently not only knew about the issues of the company, but he also knew about the federal investigation by the EEOC. And he had, in fact, told told employees about the investigation by the EEOC. But he didn't tell the board of directors and didn't file anything in his SEC filings about the investigation, which is a violation of SEC law.
What is going on with the video games? See, I left the video game world and I'm over here rolling my dice, and every time I tune into you guys, it's rape, murder, and child abduction. I get out at the right time.
You got out at the.
I came in. I'm listening for video game news. Okay, what's going on with Madden? Tell me how I can play Skyrim. And I came in here, and it's like I'm watching like a news report with you guys. It's like, and now let's go to Buffalo.
We're doing real news.
We're
doing real news.
Yeah, I know, but the news it's none of it's about video games. It's all about what the companies are doing to other people and how.
Right. Well, I mean, that's the thing. It is about video games because these are some of the biggest companies, and it's got repercussions that are happening through the industry now that has to do with, well, we'll get to it. Let me get to the rest of this. So, another revelation Wall Street, that came out of Wall Street Journal. Remember Jen O'Neill, who replaced J.L. and Brack with Mike Ibarra as co-leads of Blizzard? Jen O'Neill was paid less than Mike Ibarra as she took the lead from...
Yeah. And from what I read, the reason she left is because of, like, discrimination, harassment, and being sidelined and everything. So the CEO who gets fired for harassment and discrimination and all that is replaced by two people, one of which is a woman, who leaves because
who's paid less, and then leaves because, in her own words, she didn't have faith that the company's leadership would handle the culture crisis because she believed herself to be tokenized. She said that she herself had been sexually harassed at the company, and she pointed out that Bobby, in this email that she sent to the HR, pointed out that Bobby knew about the culture issues because he had been present at parties where there were strippers.
And he basically said the company will never change because the leadership is all like the same.
Right. And in that email, that was where she said she needed to talk about her resignation to HR. So this was 1 month into her being named co-lead of Blizzard. She was out because she saw the writing on the wall and that they weren't intending on changing the culture.
And so
yeah.
Then get out of there. If it's that bad, just get the hell
That's
out of there.
That's exactly what she did. She got the hell out of there.
And I saw, like, as all this came out, the board of directors of Activision put out a statement that basically says we still support.
We stand behind him.
But what's interesting though is that, and granted, I got this from a Kotaku article, a comment on a Kotaku article, but the guy had links and stuff to back it up that basically told a long story about how Bobby Kotick, over the years, has basically installed friends into the board of directors, so that
much like Ubisoft.
So, like, basically everyone on that board is buddy with him. So of course they're gonna stand behind him, no matter what the story is, because, like, they're where they are because of him.
Right. Exactly.
Like, they're personal relationships that go way back.
Yep. So, Activision responded that the whole article paints them in an inaccurate way, that Bobby Kotick, Kotick said that the article completely ignores all of the changes that have gone into the company to, quote, it ignores important changes underway to make this company the most welcoming and inclusive workplace. If that was the case, then Jen O'Neill would still be there.
As your CEO leaves.
Right. So here's where it actually does affect gaming. Both Xbox and Sony, since that article came out, have expressed deep concern. Xbox, certainly. Sony, it is just shy of a threat. Phil Spencer reported in an email to staff that Xbox is evaluating the company's relationship with Blizzard. The staff obtained the email. It was an email sent to staff that was obtained by Bloomberg. Said that Xbox is, quote, evaluating all aspects of our relationship with Activision Blizzard and making ongoing proactive adjustments. They said that they were disturbed and deeply troubled by the horrific events and actions at Activision Blizzard. Sony PlayStation chief Jim Ryan wrote to his employees on last Tuesday, that Sony and PlayStation had reached out to Activision Blizzard to express their, quote, deep concern and ask how they plan to address the claims made in the article. Ryan also said that he felt the company's response to the report didn't, quote, properly address the situation. So Sony sounds a little bit more of an escalation, like, we need you to address this.
I feel like Phil Spencer is more of an escalation. He says, we're reconsidering it. Sony's like, hey, you, things sound bad. You should not do that.
I don't know. It does sound Sony sounds like one of two things. One, that so either Sony wants to make meaningful change from Activision, or if this is more than just words, they could, both of them, could indeed take some action to back it up, like potentially dropping Activision games from their platform. Lord knows, Sony has dropped major games for them being subpar.
I think
Cyberpunk 2077, but that's due to technical issues. This would be more of a moral stance, and they would lose some. They would lose money. Sony would lose money. Call of Duty is a huge moneymaker for them, but not as much money as Activision Blizzard might make.
Yeah.
That they might actually be the juggernaut that gets Kotick out. Incidentally, ABK employees did have a walkout, and there are 2,000 employees now that have signed a petition demanding that Bobby Kotick leave. That is 15% of their workforce, which is not an inconsequential amount.
So, yeah, it's not, but I do feel like if they're serious about wanting Kotick out, like, the employees there have the perfect hostage because Activision is reliant on live service games. If you don't update Warzone or WoW for a week, like that's serious repercussions. So like they have the nuclear button and they have a hostage that they're holding a gun to, but they're not actually threatening that hostage.
Right.
So I don't know at what point do the employees actually get to learn today, workings of the company, because the walkout doesn't matter. In one walkout on one day isn't going to do much, especially at this point. If he's still around at this point and the board backs him at this point, that it's going to take more to get him out.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see. I can't possibly conceive of him staying on without there being some kind of repercussions from some other company, because it's kind of like knowing somebody murdered someone. It's like just because somebody's in the mafia doesn't mean that everybody, it's like, as long as if somebody is in the mafia and nothing ever happens to them, it doesn't mean that other people will do business with them, because they don't want that stink on them. It's now public. It's now out there. And it's not going to go away.
I always see that happening.
I don't know. He's now definitely tainted. So yeah, that's the Activision shit show, at least some of it. I mean, there's just so much to talk about.
Like, the gist is that Bobby Kotick is a raging asshole that everyone thinks he is, and that the Activision Blizzard leadership is like rampant with harassment and rape and all that, and that honestly the leadership doesn't see a reason to change. Like, honestly, they don't want to change.
Here's the thing: if they don't change, if Activision, what we know about it now that is public, doesn't change, then there is no hope for this industry. If you can't, if there's nothing that comes from this, then what could possibly be worse?
I mean, sure.
We have a death. We have a suicide due to harassment. We have a criminal case of rape, twice, serial rape, by a supervisor to an employee. We have failure to notify, confirmed now, failure to notify the board of directors and shareholders of investigations of settlements, multiple settlements. We have confirmed that an employee that was hired, that was brought on to help combat what had been discovered, leaves a month later because she is paid less than her male counterpart. If we can't bust Activision for this, nobody can get busted.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm I'm just very cynical that, like, I think that is the case. I would like to be proven wrong.
Yeah, we have to. It has to. It has to.
What do
'Cause
people in Iceland think about this? Have they talked to you about this in Iceland?
No, I haven't talked to anybody in Iceland yet.
I'd
People
like
in
to know what they
Iceland-
think. Seriously, I'd
People
like
in
to know what they
Iceland
think
don't play
about video
video
games. Do they play video games in Iceland? Do they just like fish all day long?
No, they play a lot of video games. When you have 20 hours of darkness a day, there's a lot of video games played here.
But it's all full.
Do you know that there is more Range Rovers? Iceland is one of the richest countries in the world. There are more Range Rovers in Iceland than there is in Finland and Denmark combined, and there's only 350,000 people who live here.
Why are there so many Range Rovers?
Because you have to have one here. You have to have a
Oh,
four-wheel
is it-
drive.
Okay, it's the environment. Oh, okay, okay.
Hey, Goalie,
I don't know,
here's a
I've been
question
to
for you.
Sure.
Snow tires.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about snow tires. I'm from California. Do they have nails in them? Like nail heads sticking out of them?
Sometimes they put what called studs.
Yeah,
in there.
studs.
And now back in the day, we used to have normal tires, and you used to bring your tires into the garage, and they would put the studs in them. They're just little tiny little nails that just go on the outside, and that would give you some grip in the wintertime. I don't know if they really do that anymore. I suppose in the heavy snow places that either you put chains on them or you do have some kind of studs in there, what they would call. Around here nowadays, more it's just you have snow. It's all weather tires out where I am. We don't put on any change or anything, any
Really?
chains or any studs or anything anymore. But it's all weather out here. But yeah, I mean, depending on the car. Back in the day, we used to put snow tires on, and they had the big treads on them. You know what I mean? Because it was all rear wheel drive back in the day. The front wheel drive stuff goes a lot better than the rear wheel drive, so we haven't really used that in a long time. But I suppose some places probably still have the little studs in the tires to get
Yeah,
the
that's
traction.
everybody. That's what they drive on in Iceland in the winter. Is everybody has stud tires?
I couldn't
And-
figure it out because when we back in the day, you'd go in and they put all the studs in there, and I don't know if we drove all summer with them, if they just wore off or if they wore out. I didn't get, you know.
Yeah, yeah. They have the winter tires. The taxi driver said, "Come here. You're from California. I got to show you something. These is our tires." And she's like, "Feel." And she's like, "These are we have nails in our tires. That's what we use." And
Yeah.
it's like you can hear them. They're like when they go down the street. You really hear a car going by. It's like high heels for cars. You hear them.
I don't remember hearing them when
That
I
sounds
was
bad.
I was a kid. I don't remember.
Yep. So yeah, that was our item. Forget Your Life says nobody lived in Iceland before the Range Rover. That's true. They all left. You know, Leif Erikson left for the Americas.
It was colonized by Range Rovers.
Two men, Jason Range and Rover.
I thought it was his dog.
Rover Cleveland. And his dog, Rover.
Hey, Range.
Cal Worthington and his dog, Spot.
Range, what are you going to call this new car you invented? Rover, what should we call it? Range? Rover? Sounds good to me. No, wait, that's not what I meant. You guys ever watched Letterkenny on Hulu?
Yes, Letterkenny is great.
I'm in season 8, and it is hysterical. And how they do that with the names, you know. It's like, do you guys name your ducks? Yes, we do. You know, Quack Damon, and they go around the room and they make all the duck names and all the pig names. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh!
and
Yeah.
they just go and they keep going. Like every little pun, it's like,
I
holy
mean,
shit! How do you keep? coming
I'm
up
trying to
with
think of them as they're saying them, and I can't keep up with them. You know.
And you're
Yeah.
good at those. You
Yeah,
are particularly good at those.
Yeah, they must rehearse that because I can't imagine they're going like that with them because it's like, wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'm on season 8 with that. That is it's a Canadian Seinfeld based around like if you're a hockey player, you like it.
I hadn't thought of that, but that's a pretty good way to describe it. Because like it's kind of a show about nothing. Just
Yeah, but if you're like I
Canadian
say,
show.
the hockey guys like it because it's loosely based with a hockey team in the city, and there's hockey players, and there's not much hockey that's ever played on the show, but it's referred to, and that's good enough for us. It really is. But yeah, the whole the skids that do all the dancing, they're all on meth, and then you got the Hicks, and then you got the whatever. It's just a neat dynamic show how they do it.
Yeah.
I laugh when I watch it. I do. I laugh out loud sometimes too. Squirrely Dan. I love Squirrely Dan, the big fat guy.
Oh, he's great.
He had sex with an ostrich, allegedly. So, good show. Yeah, Letterkenny. People have been telling me to watch it for years. Nick, you probably even told me to watch it, and I just ignored you, But I mean, it is kind of funny.
Well, Nick has terrible recommendations.
Yeah. When Nick recommends something, when Nick's like, "Hey, Goldie, you should," I'm like, "Yeah, no." And all of Nick's shows are like this.
Okay, let me think. What's the most Nick show I could recommend recently?
Floor's Lava. Oh, that was the worst thing you ever
Floor
recommended
Lava's
to me.
still fucking awesome.
No, it's not. It's
Yes, it
terrible. It's awful.
I binge watched Blacklist. I did like all 7 seasons of Blacklist, and now I guess they just put 8 on Netflix, so I can finish watching season 8. That was okay. You wouldn't believe how much action happens around the office in New York City or wherever they are. It's like all this terrorism is like within like 500 feet of the building. Just like, it's never anywhere else in the world. It's like, I need you guys to get down there right now. Where is it? Oh, it's across the street.
I mean,
good.
that's what I know of New York based on
Yeah.
movies, is that everything happens in New York.
Yeah, it's like when you watch.
I don't know why. I don't know how people can live there. It's like
Remember
Gotham
24
City.
with Kiefer Sutherland? It's like that was a great show, but everything took place like across the street because you couldn't go far. It was a 24-hour show, and if you had to travel for 2 hours, forget it. So you could only travel 5 minutes at a time. Everything was 5 minutes away. I was like, boy, everything's happening right here.
And no one, I still don't understand. On that show, I watched like 6 seasons of that show. No one ever took a piss. Never.
You don't have time when you're saving the world.
Nobody ever stopped to use the bathroom.
I know nobody ate, nobody slept.
Yeah.
I watched two or three seasons, then I was done with it. I was like, okay, this is just kind of much, but it was fun for a while. But yeah, that other show there that I watched was Blacklist. It was good, but it just like I say, it always was here. It's like, oh, we get a half hour to stop the train from blowing up. Oh, good thing the train station's right across the street from us. Whoo! If it was 3 towns over, we wouldn't make it. Not at 5-hour traffic, 5 o'clock traffic. Oh well, fun stuff.
So,
In fun news.
your news, yes.
Oh, finally
stuff.
something fun. Holy cow!
Some fun games. The Game Awards has announced its nominees for this year, and it's always just fun to go through and talk about how, of course, they made the wrong decisions, because they always.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. So what do we want to? Let's see. Stand by. I have to, because I had to restart my computer so many times. I lost my page with all the nominees. All right.
Yeah.
So let's see. We've got Game of the Year: Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, which I was really surprised, Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village.
I actually haven't played any of those.
Me either.
But I understand, Psychonauts 2 is actually really, really
I've
good.
heard it's really, really good.
But yeah, it's funny to just look at that list and go, oh yeah, I heard about that, heard about that, heard about that, heard about that. Haven't played any of them.
So one thing that I know that you have played is under Best Game Direction, which is Deathloop, It Takes Two, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart, which don't surprise me because they're all nominated for Game of the Year, and also Returnal.
Yeah, see, that's my number one.
Yeah, well,
I
it didn't even make a nomination for Game of the Year.
Yeah, that's because it's wrong. But Best Game Direction, that's cool. I like that. That game has a style to it.
Best Narrative, which is the outstanding storytelling, Deathloop, It Takes Two, Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy, Psychonauts 2, and Life is Strange: True Colors.
I've actually heard a lot of genuine high praise for both Guardians and Psychonauts 2.
I have too. By the way, Guardians is cheap for Black Friday. I think it's $30.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I also saw Far Cry 6 is $40,
Yeah, Far Cry 6 is 40.
which I feel like is a little telling considering that game came out like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Have you guys
Ubisoft
played that
is
yet?
still desperate. I
Me?
have
No.
not. Which, that's probably why it's $40 because none of us bought it.
Yeah.
So you thought that Returnal had such a style, but it was not nominated for Best Art Direction. Best Art Direction is Deathloop, Kena, Bridge of Spirits, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and The Artful Escape. None of which I played.
I at least played The Artful Escape, and that certainly had some art. Like, it goes wild.
It had some art. Thanks, Nick.
Well, like, I mean, it's all about, like, psychedelic rock. So, it goes out there, and it gets weird. Mm-hmm. In a cool way.
Best Music. Thank you, Gully. Best Music. Deathloop, Artful Escape, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Nier Replicant, version 1.22474487139.
Terrific name for a game.
I know. Worst name.
It's
Nier Replicant. And
what I know-
Cyberpunk 2077. So
yeah,
it did get a nomination.
Oh, it got more than one. And
Did it?
it was nominated for one that feels like an egregious slap in the face. Where someone at CD Projekt is like, hey, Keely, here's 100.
Let's see. Games for Impact included Boyfriend Dungeon. Didn't you play Boyfriend Dungeon?
I played a little bit of it at PAX, and that was cool.
Yep. Life is Strange, Chicory, A Colorful Tale, No Longer Home, and Before Your Eyes.
Before Your Eyes, I watched someone play that on a stream. And that's got like a really cool gimmick where it uses a webcam to watch your eyes, and every time you blink, it jumps to the next scene.
What a genius idea.
No,
It's
no,
really cool.
no, and no.
Also,
no.
I watched the stream play it, and I basically watched the person play through the whole game.
Without blinking?
No, they blinked and all that, but holy shit, that game is like an emotional gut punch.
Oh, really?
Like, streamer, even me, was just like kind of bawling at the end, like, holy shit, that, like,
What game was that?
Before Your Eyes.
No, I don't want any webcams in my games. Last night, we had some people over the house. We played Cards Against Humanity last night. Now, I don't have any Alexas or anything like that in my house. Okay, it's all just... No, I don't have that. And I was telling people about the Bose earbuds I bought, the noise-canceling earphones. I was just telling them, well, these things are great. You can cut the grass. You don't hear anything, right? Yeah, okay. So I'm telling them about the earbuds I bought, right? My uncle sends me a text today, who was at the house last night. He goes, I am getting ads for the Bose Quiet Control earbuds. And how? How is he getting ads for that after we talked about it last night? Somebody's listening. Somebody's listening.
The phone was.
You got to think that, right?
I've had that happen to me too. And just recently I've had that where I've mentioned something.
It's not like he went on his phone and looked it up. It's not like we had a computer and looked it up. All our phones were away. We just were talking about it. Because I know if you look up anything online, it appears in Facebook.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Does he have an Alexa or a Google device?
I don't know if he does at his house or not. That I don't know.
Yeah,
But
because
we were
I
at one.
don't have one for that reason, and that's still happening to me. They're definitely.
Because we were here
Somebody's
last
listening.
night and just chatting in the living room, playing our game, and just talking about whatever. And he's like, I'm getting all these ads for the Bose, quiet
maybe-
control earbuds. I'm just like, that is just so creepy.
So you were playing a game? Maybe it was like over the headset. Something.
No, we were playing Cards Against Humanity.
Oh, okay. Well, shit. Then.
And we just, no one was like searching anything on the phone or anything like that.
Cards. It's in the cards.
So somebody's phone, his phone must have picked it up and just said, oh, you must want some Bose headsets. Here you go. Here's a couple of ads. I mean, I can see if you're searching on the computer, it logs it all in. But when you're just talking like we are now, like if I start getting ads for whatever game Nick was talking about on my phone, I'm gonna be pretty creeped out, you know.
I want to see you get an ad for Library of Ruina, because that's like there's a goalie game, and then on the other side of the universe is that game.
It is. Well, you would
Oh, yeah.
hate Library of Ruina.
And I would love.
The only thing that you might hate more than Library of Ruina is Chivalry 2.
No, Chivalry 2 is at least like fun to watch.
Yeah, but it's constant death. And frustrating as fuck.
I'm trying to think the
Frustrating
last
as
game that I hated.
fuck.
The last game that it was, and I didn't. I think I tried the Dark Souls because it was one of them was free or $5. It was one of the early ones.
I think you've told me about playing Bloodborne.
Yeah, Bloodborne I did. Bloodborne I did okay, and I didn't hate it, but just after you do all the dying, you're like, okay, I'm done with that, you know. But I don't think that's I don't think I hated it because I knew what I was getting into. That's the thing.
That helps.
If you know what you're getting into, then you're like, okay, I shouldn't be surprised that I'm dying all the time and I can't get around this corner. And if I can't get around the corner, I stop playing. But I knew I was getting into. It's when you don't know what you're getting into. I think the last game that I rage quit was something that I had to do a lot of jumping and parkour stuff, and I couldn't do it. And that's one of the reasons I kind of don't play a lot of games anymore on the PlayStation, whatever, because my coordination is just not there. Seriously, that when I played that Tomb Raider game, that opening scene, that opening jump, where she had to jump and hit the accident, and I 25 times just to do a jump, and then you go on YouTube to see how it's done, and it's like I'm not missing anything. It's not like I don't have something in my hand or I'm at the wrong spot. I'm just not hitting the damn button in time.
You watch a YouTube video and the guy just goes past it like it's nothing.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I can't make this jump. And it's just, man, and that's when I knew. And it's like, I'm going to stick to it because I want to play Tomb Raider, but damn, I'm on the opening scene. As soon as the cutscene ends, you got to make one jump. That's where I got stuck. It's like, son of a bitch, it sucks.
And it's so funny because I know I've played that, but I don't remember that jump.
It's the opening scene when her and the big black guy are going up and they're in the snow and they're hiking across and things start to collapse. And so he's like, oh, I'll meet you at the top. And she like falls. And when she jumps, she has to hit the pickaxe and catch herself or swing on something. It's the very, very first thing you do in the game. And I couldn't do it. And I just was out of my mind. I stuck with it though. And I got through it and I enjoy it. I love all the Tomb Raiders, but boy, they're hard.
Yeah.
For just the jumping stuff. So that's the last time I really got mad. I forget what game it was that I couldn't. Oh, it was I think it was Assassin's Creed with the old style controls.
I could see that.
Yeah,
and I couldn't get through the tutorial, and I was just
rubbed
like,
a lot of
"Wow,
people
I
the
can't
wrong
even get through the tutorial. This is
I
bad."
definitely see that.
The new one's a new control scheme on the one in Egypt, and then the one in wherever the other one was, Rome or something like that. Those are good. I don't have the brand new. I don't have the Viking one, but the other two I loved because they changed the controls and I could do everything, and those were great. But the one before that, yeah, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, they ran their course.
So something I forgot to tell you that's interesting about Iceland. All the water's perfectly safe to drink. It tastes delicious, smells slightly of sulfur. So you go into the bathroom and it's like pre-farted in the bathroom.
Okay.
Like you open the door and you're like, whoa, who polluted? Oh.
I love this place already. Is this worse than when we stayed at that little place in Boston when Nick went to the bathroom and he couldn't get it flushed down the toilet?
Oh, no, nothing will be worse than that.
Every time I just see these two eyeballs looking back at me, I'm like, holy cow, I must have flushed it 10 times, dude. This ain't going anywhere. Nick, what did you eat? Holy cow.
If I remember, that was when we had like the whole meal of tater tots, wasn't it?
Possibly. We are not known for eating well at PAX.
Not on the road, no.
Treating our own bodies like toilets.
Nor should you.
Right. So, yeah. More about the
The thing, yeah. Did you skip
Game
over
Awards.
audio?
Oh, yeah, I did skip over audio. Want to talk about it?
Yeah, so
I figure I'm the only one who's kind of wonky enough to care about best audio design.
well, there's Deathloop, Forza Horizon 5, Ratchet and Clank, Resident Evil Village, and Returnal. And I feel like Returnal needs a special mention here because it does a lot of really wild, cool sound effects coming out of the controller.
That's a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, it's one of those games that when you play it, you're like, oh wow, this idea is really cool, and then no other game takes advantage of it in that same way.
Is that similar to... Is that on the PlayStation? Because I know a lot of games have been using that PlayStation controller.
Yeah, Returnal is one of those ones that like justifies the dual sense, like the way it rumbles, the way the sound works. It's like, oh, I see why you made the controller this way. It's really awesome. So, yeah.
Let's see. Moving forward, because it's just too much to do. Best indie game, 12 Minutes, Death's Door, Kena Bridge of Spirits.
No. Jesus. Best indie, 12 Minutes. That was the fucking murder incest game.
Oh.
That is genuinely the most awful thing I've played this year.
Really?
I am embarrassed for the Game Awards to have this in their list. It's so bad. Why would you? Who?
Somebody paid Keeley $100.
Who enjoyed that game enough to nominate it? Like, that game was awful. Just from a game perspective, it was boring as fuck. Oh my god.
Best mobile game. Fantasian, Genshin Impact, League of Legends, Marvel, Future Revolution, and Pokemon Unite.
Sure. Those all sound like games.
Action game. Back for Blood, Chivalry 2, Deathloop, Far Cry 6, and Returnal. That's a very strong field.
Yeah.
I think Back for Blood's going to get it.
I could see that. You know, I'm always partial to Returnal. But the best role-playing game is another similar disgrace.
Monster Hunter Rise, Scarlet Nexus, Shin Megami Tensei 5, Tales of Arise, and Cyberpunk 2077.
Like, how does that get nominated?
I don't know.
Keeley,
I don't know.
You know, Keeley just gets paid off. It's so cheap. $100. We could get Ookie Bookie Spelookie nominated for a Game Award.
I would think so, yeah.
Oh, God. That would be fun, considering it's a game that doesn't exist.
Oh, yeah. That's the game.
I say we approach Activision and see if they'll help us with it.
No.
Imagine the publicity we would get. Ookie Bookie Spelookie going to Activision. Imagine all that. All the turmoil they're having. Lawsuit coming up, and it's like, you know, and one of the new games they picked up, Ookie Bookie Spelookie, is now in danger of not being released. I mean, we would
that's
sell
true.
millions.
We could use that as an excuse to not release the game.
Right. Oh.
Yeah.
That we would release it, but Activision has the IP now. We sold the IP.
What was the movie where the guys like made a play but it didn't exist? Was that the producers?
It was the producers.
Springtime
for Hitler was the name of the they were trying to make a bomb because they could make money off of the bomb.
Oh, but they actually made it, didn't they?
They did make it, and it became a hit, and then they were fucked.
Yeah, because I feel like there was a movie where someone was doing that with like an Ookie Bookie Spelookie that doesn't exist.
If you haven't seen The Producers, you really should. It is so fucking funny that it was written in the 50s, and they did it again in the 90s or 2000s because it was so fucking funny. No, it was originally Zero Mostel, and then it became Nathan Lane, I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that funny. Best family game. It Takes Two, Mario Party Superstars, New Pokemon Snap, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, and 12 Minutes.
I mean, It is a game about family.
No, WarioWare Get It Together is the fifth one. Best sports racing game. F1 2021, FIFA 22, Hot Wheels Unleashed, Forza Horizon 5, Riders Republic.
I actually heard Hot Wheels Unleashed was shockingly good.
It looked good. I saw videos of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
For a Hot Wheels game that no one expected.
Yeah. Well, there was another one that surprised me under fighting game that it was, where is it? Best fighting game. No, I have to look for it here. Demon Slayer, Guilty Gear, Melty Blood, Virtua Fighter 5, and Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl was nominated.
I feel like I also heard that was a pretty good Smash Brothers clone.
Yep. Best Sim. Age of Empires 4, Evil Genius 2, World Domination, Humankind Inscription, and Microsoft Flight Simulator.
I've been watching a lot of streams of Inscription, and it looks pretty cool.
What's it about? What is Inscription?
It's like you find yourself in this cabin playing a card game with this kind of demon creature, and the card game seems like a really well thought out strategy game, but it's got like these layers of meta story going on where like it's a roguelike deck builder, and like every time you kind of go forward and defeat a boss, the rules change a little bit.
Oh.
And so as you go forward, you start like realizing what is Inscription, and there's like this meta layer of a YouTuber who found a real life card game of Inscription, and then like people that were making a video game based on this card game, and the game itself is like haunted and it's demonic. That's been kind of going on for a while. It seems really cool.
So the next one that we'll even talk about, because there was a bunch of stuff for esports and content creators, and was most anticipated game. God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, the sequel, they don't even have a name for it, but the sequel for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Starfield, and Elden Ring.
I mean, mine is Elden Ring.
I think it all depends on who's actually who's actually voting at this point.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
that
I mean,
that could go any direction.
Yeah, I feel like there's a solid. Any one of those could take it.
Blood Reaper said Microsoft Flight Simulator people have been acting way too realistic. Oh, I see what you're saying, is that they've been actually trying to fly straight instead of fucking around and turning it into Grand Theft Auto error. Yeah, that is a hard choice. Elden Ring for AC Wraith or Starfield.
But yeah, the awards are on December 9th, so
Yeah.
not that far away. Only
Yeah, I kind of like the fact that they
weeks.
announce the nominees and then it's almost instant.
Yeah.
Like, we get the answers, which is kind of nice. So, yeah, there's that. Next item. Oh, let me see. No, well, that was sort of my item too. I guess I'll go with the next item since you brought that one.
Okay.
More bad news for Activision. So, Blizzard is in the process of building out, doing the public test build for the World of Warcraft Shadowlands, the new patch 9.2, which is going to have the return of tier-based, class-based tier sets for equipment and armor. Well, one of those sets, concerningly enough, was found by data miners. Apparently this was designed, considered, and scrapped, but data miners found the information, and the Warlock set apparently looks like KKK robes. Because why the fuck not?
I mean, they
So-
do call them wizards, right? Grandmaster is the wizard.
Right. Oh, that's true. They are warlocks. So let me, unfortunately, I closed the screen. So let me see if I can bring up the screen so you can see. I think it's a little bit of a reach, to be honest. But given that Activision is under a lot of scrutiny right now, it was just a bad choice, to say the least. Come on, where is the picture? All right, here we go. Here is what the set looks like. It's a little, it's a wobbler. But given that what's going on with Activision, it does not surprise me that it wobbled the wrong direction.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, because it's a helmet, right? It's a big pointy helmet, and the thing about the KKK's outfit is that it's a hood.
It's a hood, it's a pointy hat, pointy hoods. It could be a pointy hood. Well, anyway, the tier set, which had been the source of this, is going to be changed in an upcoming test realm build, public test realm build, and it won't be making it into the live game. Blizzard has officially stated that.
Do you think if they changed the red to a different color?
They should
Maybe
change the red white. You know, just
change the hood to white. Change the robes to white. Yeah, I think that would be good.
at this point, I feel like Activision should just not put out any content for a month or so.
Just a good idea.
Yeah.
But like Activision needed that one more thing.
Like
So we'll also
chat mentions that Blasphemy was fine with like the headgear, because Blasphemy, the game, kind of like a Castlevania Dark Souls game, had a guy with a big pointy helmet in it. But Israel is right. He didn't have the robe or like the robe-esque armor to go with it. Just a big long helmet.
Right.
And yeah, no one commented on that.
Yeah, I don't think it's the helmet. I think it's kind of the whole overall look and feel. The big shoulders, the robe. Just an avoid. But they did not. So, like I said, they're not going forward with it. These were data miners that found this design. So even if they were going through with it, they're abandoning it now officially. Next item?
Yeah.
Goalie, did you bring anything? Fucker, freeloader?
No, we just recorded our third annual Black Friday sale before I jumped on with you guys. So we covered all the cards and dice, sports, Black Friday stuff. Yeah, we reach out to all the people we know that do games and all the other stuff. We have big names, small names, whatever, and we list them all off for everybody. We started it a couple years ago. This is our third year doing it. So and we just did all that. It's just kind of fun. This year has some good sales. It's kind of what I was when I was talking to Ron about it after the show. I was like, it's kind of like going through the Sears catalog as a kid. You get all the sales, and it's like, I want this, and I want this. And you do it. It's like you make this long list. It's just like,
and then you hand it to your mom and dad. It's like he's getting socks, right? It's like he's getting socks.
You get like one thing on the list. It's like, oh, come on, I want that.
I got 20 things.
So as far as video game stuff, no, I don't think.
By the way, what's your favorite sale that's coming up? Give us a hot tip on that.
Well, there's a sports simulation game. It's a cards and dice game that you play on the computer. So all the cards are on the computer, and it's by a company called Inside Sports Games. It's what it is. InsideSportsGames.com, and they got baseball, basketball, football, and hockey and golf, and I have them all. And you got to buy the individual seasons to play. So if you want to play 1980, you buy the season, you install it, and it installs all the cards for you, and you can play it on the computer. And so they're having a buy one season, get one season free sale. So I'll be all over that. And the seasons are only somewhere between $10 and $17, so it's not. But if I get,
what's the name of the company again?
InsideSportsGames.com.
Okay.
And it's cards and dice but it's on the computer, so you don't need to have on and the computer helps you play the game too. And some of these games are pretty complex, but they keep the score for you. They keep the innings or the quarter or whatever it is, and it keeps the stats for the game. And it's a nice way to play a cards and dice game, but on the computer, especially late at night when you don't want to set up everything. You kick back and just use the mouse, and it's really fun like that. Did you guys see? I almost backed this, but I didn't. It's coming up, the Skyrim board game.
I think I did see that.
Did you see that? I saw people reviewing it. They got advanced copies and they were reviewing it, and they're like, "I can't talk too much about it." So and there's a solo mode. There's a solo mode. You can play it with friends. There's a solo mode, and you're playing it. There's side quests. There's fetch quests. There's main quests. You upgrade your character. I'm like, it looks really complicated because there's a lot going on, but it's like I might have to get this and check it out. I really might. Yes, there it is. There's Skyrim, the board game,
man.
Right there. That's what's that, tabletop simulator or something? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dice Breaker. I'll have to check that out. I would like to see someone play that.
They get Jaws, the board game. They
Really?
They got Dark Souls, I think, has one.
I have the Dark Souls one.
Yeah. How does it play like compared to the video game? Is it like so far away that it's not worth it, or is it?
No, a lot of the game is about wandering around this environment and kind of exploring. The game is purely combat focused.
Okay.
And so it kind of does a neat job of setting the stage, like the board, and having barrels and objects on the board. So like if you hit an enemy, you push them back into that board, and that does extra damage. So it kind of captures the feeling of the game that's a lot about positioning and waiting for the enemy to moving your character so that you're in the right position to hit them and do extra damage. The way it handles bosses is pretty cool because they have a set of moves and they go through them one at a time, and then you don't shuffle the moves, you just start it over again. So if you pay attention closely, you know exactly what the boss is going to do next. So you can kind of plan that out. And
that's kind of cool.
It does a surprisingly good job of capturing the thought process of playing the game.
There was a Gears of War game that came out years ago, and it's out of print now, and it's really expensive if you want to buy it. But when I was stumbling around, when I saw the Skyrim, I stumbled around and found all these other games. And there was one that was I'm pretty sure it was for that in Gears of War, but it was really hard to find, and it's all about getting your guy behind cover and shooting the enemy and stuff. But I'd always wonder how these board game plays compared to the video games, because the Skyrim one looks interesting, but it's almost just too easy to sit back on the couch with the controller, just let the computer do all the heavy lifting, and but. I keep trying to look around here. We got a couple of game places here that you can go and play games on. I keep trying to find a place that I can go and sit in and watch them play Outer Rim by Star Wars or something like that, or something that's a big heavy duty game that I could just watch just to see if I would enjoy it at all, But I went to one and Sharon went one with me, and they're don't really not that welcoming. We went to one and we were watching them, and if they just said, "Hey, come on in and check this out," we would have went right in. But it was kind of just okay, we'll leave, that type of thing, And it's too bad. It's too bad because I was looking for something to do with some people like that, and just they didn't want anything to do with us. So
I've always felt like PAX was great for that. You could just walk up to anyone playing a board game, and watching, and they'd be fine with it.
That's what I thought.
And they'd be like, "What is this game? Tell me about it. I don't really play board games at all." And they would sit down and they would explain the whole thing to you.
That's what I thought it was going to be like. We're in there, and instead of "Hey, what are you guys doing? You want to check out this game?" And it would have been fun to sit in, but just they had their little thing, and their backs were to us, and they played their game, and they didn't want to look at us, and just sorry for being here. We'll leave, So whichever.
AC Wraith. Did you see that comment by AC Wraith? I have to go scroll back.
The link for Gears of War?
No. He says, I'd mark stuff up in the catalog like my mother taught me. I only ever got one thing from the list. It was a remote control robot. It ran over an icicle decoration and never worked again.
Oh, the icicles probably got all up in the gears, and then you were all done. Yeah.
Burnt it out.
That
The
sucks.
childhood.
That sucks.
So, next item.
Okay, I have one. Rockstar released the Grand Theft Auto update trilogy that was not very well received because the updated games.
Looks awful, plays awful. I think that they would have been okay with the looks awful and the bugs. I mean, they didn't take out a lot of the old bugs, and then they added new bugs, which is surprising. And then they left in all this other stuff that they shouldn't have had, like copyrighted music and the hot coffee mod and developers notes and other stuff. But then on top of that, apparently the controls are just fucked.
So they're apologizing for releasing some really bad versions of GTA by giving people free GTA games. Basically, the classic versions of these games are going to go up on the store in the coming month, and people who bought the definitive edition trilogy will get those classic versions for free.
Yeah.
So
So it's kind of funny. A lot of people were very upset that they were potentially losing the legacy of the games because they had gotten rid of the old versions of the game.
Yeah. And that seems weird to me. Like, why purposely hide those old versions? But
Right.
if they want to do it just to sell the game to you again. So
I'm really enjoying watching some of these bugs. Yeah, there are a lot of really bad bugs. Case in point.
Oh man, I'm getting dizzy.
I'm not usually one to notice frame rate, but like watching that guy run and the frame rate really chug,
Yeah.
it's really noticeable.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm not usually one to notice that kind of thing.
I'm just waiting for something to happen. Because you know it's happening. It's building it up. Guess it was an audio glitch.
Oh, I should also say, and I just realized this. Let me look it up. In the Xbox thing that happened this week, where they early announced the Halo, they also announced a whole bunch more of backwards compatibility games. And I guess this is going to be the last chunk of backwards compatible games released. So this is kind of it, this last chunk. But I know it had a lot of good games, and like I've seen people checking them out, and the backwards compatibility works really well. Like it even up-reses stuff to look really good.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, an FPS boost has been added for things like Gears of War, Fallout 3, and Fallout New Vegas.
Nice. This is Xbox, right? Not PlayStation?
Yeah.
Yeah. Xbox has done a really, really good job of kind of servicing the gamers in this console generation.
I'll be the first to admit, they've done it far more than PlayStation has.
Well, PlayStation only won, dare I say, only won the last console war by default.
And they...
Starting with Viva la Revolution, getting rid of the Kinect. Started with the Kinect and it started going downhill from there.
Xbox made a lot of missteps in that early year.
Oh, so many.
But some of the things that are now backwards compatible, the Fear series, the Max Payne series up to 3,
That's great.
Red Dead Revolver.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind go back and playing that. That was a really good
yeah,
game.
before Rockstar got their hands on it. Oh wait, Viva Pinata Party Animals.
Oh, I loved Viva Pinata Party Animals.
Is that-
I played Viva Pinata fairly recently. I went back to it.
Did
yeah.
you?
I did.
What was Party Animals? That wasn't the sequel.
Trouble in Paradise was the sequel.
Yeah, what was Party Animals?
Yeah, because Trouble in Paradise is what I played. I don't remember what Party Animals was.
But then the evergreen classic that people love, Skate 2, is available. Star Wars Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. So yeah, they have done a good job with their backwards compatible stuff.
Yep, they certainly have. And the rest of the show is yours, Nick,
Oh, okay.
because it's
I
now
only have-
midnight.
Okay, I only have one like interesting news story, and that is that
You got two.
really. What? I remember one of them was that apparently, from data analyst Ampere, says that the Xbox Series S is outselling the Series X in several key markets. And
What do you mean by key markets?
So it doesn't have details about that, but it does say that even GamesIndustry.biz has seen that the numbers are at least 50-50 in like all of the major territories, so like Europe, US, and Japan. And that, so this is from GamesIndustry.biz. As a result of the success of the Series X, which is a digital-only device, Xbox game sales are heavily digital, even compared to the PS5. According to GSD data, which I'm not sure what that is, over 90% of sales of Call of Duty Vanguard on Xbox came as a digital download. So
Really?
almost everyone playing Call of Duty, the newest Call of Duty on Xbox, is buying it digitally.
Interesting. So how does that, are they saying that it's because of the S that that's happening, or they actually independently said, hey, Xbox Series S is outselling and incidentally that happened?
No, I think they're saying that as a result of the Series S being digital only.
Got it.
Because you remember the Series S is like significantly cheaper. It's like
Yeah.
$250 or something.
$299, I believe.
And like even the digital only PlayStation 5 is still like what, $400? So
No, I think it was $399. Yeah, $399.
like yeah, the Series S being super cheap, still being able to play, new gen games. It has attracted the large install base that Microsoft hoped it would.
Right. It was a smart pricing maneuver to
Yeah.
undercut, to be the same price for the disc-based console, but then significantly undercut for the digital console because they want to sell the digital games
Although
because they're cheaper.
that said, according to Ampere's latest hardware update, the Xbox Series sales are at 6.7 million as of the end of September 2021, and PlayStation 5 is at 12.8.
Yeah.
So, good on Microsoft. They're fighting the good fight.
They're kicking ass in second place.
Yeah. Well,
They're owning the shit out of second place.
actually, no, they're in third place because the Switch is out.
Switch.
Both.
Yeah. They're owning the shit out of third place.
Yeah.
All right, and you want to hit that last one about Playdate?
What was the? Oh, right. Playdate, which is, it was like this Game Boy-esque console that was announced a while back. It's been delayed into early 2022 because the manufacturers, what's their name? Let me try to find their name. Panic, looks like that's their name. They realized the battery didn't work, which is weird because the test units they sent out to press worked, but apparently, they say, quote, we found a number of units with batteries so drained, Playdate wouldn't power on at all and couldn't be charged.
Yeah, that can
So
happen.
they're just scrambling to find a new battery manufacturer.
Oh, that I feel sorry for him. Really feel sorry for him for that case, because that's hard to do. Batteries are lithium polymer batteries, so freaking finicky.
So yeah, they're mad dash to figure out just what went wrong and how to fix it.
Manufacturing issues.
And this was the like Game Boy-esque hardware thing that had a crank on the side that you actually physically crank like a fishing reel.
Really?
That was one of its like selling points.
I think I vaguely remember that.
It's been a while since it's been in the news.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So what did the crank do? Was that part of the gameplay, or was it? Did it charge it?
No, that was part of the gameplay.
Oh, I thought it charged the battery. That'd be great.
No,
It's like, oh, I'm running
no.
out of battery.
Yeah.
It was part of the gameplay.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking of something else.
So yeah.
Yeah, seemed like a cool little piece of hardware, and that apparently it wasn't that expensive. Like all things considered,
What was
it
the price on that?
$100, from what I understood.
See, that's a great idea. I would totally buy that.
A handheld price.
$179.
Oh shit! Okay, I was wrong. I take it back.
Yep. That's pretty spendy for something like that with a crank on it.
Yeah. Oh, chat. AC Wraith also says that they're looking for new CPUs because of the COVID delay.
Right. I was when you said delay because of manufacturing, I was like, oh, it's chip problems. Oh no,
I
it's
thought it
not.
was just that too.
I was
but
like, oh, good, they got their chip problems solved, but sorted out, but apparently not.
it's problems all the way with every aspect of it. It seems like.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, everything. You can't find a new car these days.
Yeah.
If you ever want to sell an old car, I got 2 old cars to sell. And if you ever want to sell an old car, now is the time to dust off that wreck in your backyard. If it can start, you can sell it. Because there are no new cars to be had. Corey says, God, Andrew didn't age well. Andrew, you really let yourself go.
Oh,
You know,
stop.
he's been working a lot lately.
No.
Edie. The
He
stress-
has been working a lot. He's
the
stressed
stress
out.
ages you. You know, it does things.
Dude, stop. Just because I had some drinks last night for the first time in months. Crap. This ain't right.
All right. So, anything else before we close out that show? Goalie, why don't you pimp your show one more time?
Yeah, my new show is the Digital to Dice podcast. We talk about sports simulations, board games, and simulations on the computer. So a little bit of everything. I still play once in a while. I'll still stream some video games on my YouTube channel, but for the most part, it's the sports community. It's a lot smaller community than the video game community. That's by far.
You're owning the shit out of third place.
But we're doing quite well in that small community. I got to say, we're doing quite well.
You are.
You know, what's kind of neat is just last week somebody sent me a game. We get stuff sent to us, to try out. It's kind of neat. In fact, I got 3 or 4 games stacked up. I got a wrestling game, I got a baseball game, and I got a football game that people sent me. And sometimes they're creators of the game, like, hey, check this out. I just got to get to play them. That's the thing, is finding time to play all these games. I literally probably have 100 to 150 card to dice games, sports related, that I could play. There's a lot. It's a lot more than you think, and I'm still finding new ones every single day. And so so it's Digital to Dice podcast. We just recorded episode 113. Can you believe it? We got 113 shows.
I know, crazy,
That's
huh?
how long it's been. It's ridiculous. Yeah, we started this back in 2019, and so here we are here. I still like to jump in with you guys once in a while, but I just don't think it's right. I don't play a lot of video games, so I don't think it's right for me to kind of take up a spot for the guy.
Okay, you can be our token chick. It's all right.
Well, I don't mind that because I mind checking in because the guy that replaced me shows up every 6 weeks, so I don't feel so bad. He's always on the physically unable to perform list.
Yeah, well, he is our ace, so he's allowed to take some time off, and the whole his work really. I mean, when he got himself promoted,
good.
No good deed goes unpunished when
yeah.
it comes to promotions.
Yeah, I've been busy. The hockey thing, I've been doing the broadcasting again. That's going very well. The league actually tweets out clips of every game I do.
Nice.
Which is neat because they do, hundreds of games. This league does. They're all over the country, and I follow on Twitter, and I can almost guarantee that every game I do, they tweet out a clip from me. And in fact, a quick 30-second story here. I did a game Thursday night up in New Hampshire.
What's the name of the league?
The league is the USPHL, USPHL, United States Premier Hockey League. And it's for kids that are out of high school before they get to college. This is the league they play in to try to get into college. And these kids are probably anywhere from 18 to 20, 21 years old. And I'm sitting in the stands. I got my headset on, ready to do the game. And someone comes up to me, this older couple, and they're like, "Are you the guys to do the broadcast?" I'm like, "Yeah, we are." And he shakes my hand. He goes, "You guys do an unbelievable job at this." And he says, "This is the first game we've been to because we live far away. We watch, and we love the job you do." So I says, well, who's your son? He says, it's number 5 on the New Hampshire team. And he says, it's our first time we've ever come to see him play, right? Don't you know, number 5 scores the game-winning goal in overtime.
Oh, neat.
Awesome.
And he scored, and I'm going, score, Newsman wins it for the Cyclones. And they look at me, and I gave him a big thumbs up, looked right at him. That was kind of cool. So that's going pretty well up there. Doing the broadcast in there. But it is fun. Like I say, when I come home, I can count on 2 hours later, I get a 30-second clip of me calling the game-winning goal. And not every game does that. So they must like something I'm doing.
Yeah,
At least
like
somebody
what you're doing.
appreciates
That's
me.
cool.
10 years of GameHounds, I didn't get any appreciation at all. You know what I mean? No
You just have
appreciation
Coy
at all.
Wallace coming into the chat.
I remember
talking
sleeping
crap.
on the damn floor. On the damn floor.
Oh, yeah.
In Boston. That's how much the GameHounds are. You guys are snug in your beds and your cocoa and the electric blankets, and I'm over there shivering with an Afghan on me over here. It's like, come on.
No, I thought you got, like, the couch or the small chair.
I couldn't fit one ass cheek on that couch. Seriously. My ass was hanging out, so I'm just going to sleep on the floor. The heck with
Well, they told me that they had a couch that you could sleep on. They didn't tell me it was a half a couch you could sleep on. We kind of got rooked on that one.
Yeah, it was kind of nuts. But yeah, so that's going pretty well. But like I say, I think I sent you guys a couple clips of me doing it there, and it's kind of neat. It's kind of neat when they do that. I don't know if I could find any real quick for you here to play, but that's going quite well. It's something I wish I pursued that. I really, really enjoy that, and I just didn't pursue it nearly enough. So, I found the clip here. I don't know if I can share it with you.
If you share, it is a Chrome tab, and then add. Should be a radio box that says include audio when you do the share.
Okay, let me see here. All right, so go back here. So I'm going to go to share. Share screen. No, not share screen, right?
Yeah, no, it's like share tab.
Video file.
Share Chrome tab.
Oh, I can't. It's not letting me.
No, share. It should be share screen. Let me see.
Oh, yeah,
It's
click on share, then go
share screen, and then you have go up to Chrome tab.
I see. Oh, damn, I'm in Opera, but that might work. All right, let me share this one
and
here.
And then share
audio.
tab. Make sure to include share tab audio so that we hear the audio.
Is that working now?
It is.
All right. All right.
Hold on.
Terrific play by Andrew. All right, let me back it up. Here's me. Now this is on Twitter, so this is nothing that's copywritten. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys can see all that.
That's
okay.
why we've already been banned for Facebook.
I know.
Yeah.
Newsman retreats behind his own net. Here comes Newsman for the Cyclones. Newsma up over the line. Newsma moving in. Newsma shot. See, by Forster. Newsma kicks it to himself. He controls the puck. Newsma with it now in the slot. Newsma scores! Newsma wins it for the Cyclones.
Oh, is that the one?
That's the kids. Yep.
Oh, Newsma.
Yep. Kids' parents are right next to me on the side.
Play by Angelo Newsma.
So yeah. So there's that.
As
So
he got the shot.
yep. So that's and then it just kind of replays again. But yeah. So that's the other one I did there. So that.
So if they want to check you out, they can follow the Twitter account for USPHL to see more of your clips.
My new Twitter. I got off of Twitter with everything for the most part a while ago, but I did fire up one for the hockey because it's just hockey. It's Dave Shot Score. That's the
Dave Shot Score.
Dave Shot Score, because it's like I do hockey broadcasts, and so I get on there so I could network with other broadcasters on this. Like everyone's on there, so I'll get on there. So I don't have the holy goalie anymore. I don't have the Ratcast anymore. So I get rid of all that, but I did get back on for that. So that's what I've been kind of doing. I've been doing my cards and dice. I've been doing my hockey broadcasting. I check in you guys on Sundays. And I don't have all the new consoles. See, you guys have all the new things. I don't have any. I still have my 360 hook up and play that.
I'm very tempted to get the Switch. It's on sale for Black Friday. The Twitch.
Don't they have
sorry, not the Twitch. The Switch.
The Switch. Yeah. They have the new. Was it OLED? LED?
Yeah. I don't think that one can go into the TV though. I think that's like just handheld only.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like being able to put it into the TV.
Yeah. So yeah, the Black Friday Switch deals are now live for the Mario Kart bundle. They're in stock. $300.
And can you play Skyrim on that? As stupid as it, you can play Skyrim on the Switch.
Oh yeah. You can play Grand Theft Auto Trilogy on the Switch.
Well, I've heard it crashes the Switch.
Yeah,
oh, really?
but you can.
Sure. Is Skyrim on the Switch? Yes, it is on the Switch.
It is on the Switch.
Well,
yeah.
shit.
Hey, did you guys see? I have some news. Oh, it's not news, but I could call it news. G4 is back. They're on YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know how long they've been back, but I just saw them, and Cecil's on there, and Pereira's on there, and I've been watching some of their stuff. They did a couple reviews of games. Cecil reviewed Back for Blood, and I watched that, and they got a couple other things. So I'm glad that was a fun video game show. All kidding aside, that you can say what you want about it, but it was great. I enjoyed G4 back in the day. Didn't enjoy everything about it, but it was enough to enjoy. And it's good to see that they're doing some YouTube stuff now, and they got the gang. Not everybody, but enough of the gang back together to make it worth watching. Yeah. I think everyone's a little more humble now. You know what I mean? Like when the bands that used to play arenas are now playing clubs.
The Canocti Harbor Inn.
Never playing clubs again, and now they're in clubs, and they're like everyone's best friend. They're taking pictures with everybody. You know, they're a little more humble in their 50s than they were in their 30s. You know.
I mean, yeah, that's just natural time.
So it is fun, and I don't know how long they've been back, but it just popped up in my feed, and it looked like it's fairly new. Okay.
AC Wraith says that the channel has been around a while, but the shows just came back recently.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they've been up there, but they just,
Yeah,
okay.
It feels like they just started putting out content.
Yeah. I think they got X-Play. Is it Attack of the Show? But yeah, I think it is Attack of the Show and X-Play. Maybe is, yeah. So there's my Dave Shot Score. Thank you so much for putting that up there. But, so it just, I'm trying to do fun things. And that's what it's all about. So if it's, doing the hockey, if it's doing my games here, or whatever it is, it's fun. I still play Skyrim. I bought a new controller. I bought a Turtle Beach. Oh man, I forget what it's called. But it's a wired controller from Turtle Beach. And
really?
It's got a 9-foot cable on, so it's decent. You can't sit across the room, but you can, And so, because I put my Xbox, I have a Xbox One Slim or whatever it is. I put it upstairs with our new TV, and so she goes to bed early. So if I want to play this Turtle Beach, it takes a headphone jack right into the controller. The volume is on the controller.
Nice.
The volume rocker for chat to game is on the controller. It's got 4 different EQs on the controller. So you don't have to go into the menu system to change anything. You plug in, you're playing Skyrim. It all comes through your headphones. It sounds great. You can play it as loud as you want, and you can change the volume. Everything's on the controller. You don't have to like stop the game, go into the settings, because you know how many times you do that with Xbox if you're playing with headphones on, especially if you don't have something you can change with your hand. If you just got headphones on, you got to go into the settings and change the volume and change the chat volume and all. This is on the controller. This Turtle Beach controller, and I forget what the heck it's called. It's fairly new.
Turtle Beach Recon?
Yes, the Recon. Yes, Turtle Beach Recon. I love it. I wish it was wireless, but I guess get why it can't be wireless. But yep, I pull up my chair and I play it upstairs at night, and I don't gotta keep her awake at all. And it is great. It is great. I almost did a review for it. There's all the controls right there. Your chat, your volume, EQ. You can program. It's got paddles in the back. You can program. And I'm using this for the Xbox One, not even the new Xbox. But yeah, it's got headphones. You can do that. You get EQs. You get different modes you use. You can program stuff. It's even got a shooter thing that if you hold a button, it goes a little slower when you aim. I never use that, but it's there if you want to. It feels great in your hands.
So this isn't just the thing that plugs into the controller. This is the
whole controller.
The whole controller, yeah.
Oh.
It's a brand new controller, and I like the white one, but they only had black at Best Buy up here. But it fits in your hand. Like I say, it's got little things in your back. You can program the back. They just feel really good. I really like the feel of them. And I play Skyrim with that upstairs, and I really like it. So yeah, the Turtle Beach. Yep, controller there. Like I say, is that the jack's right there, so you can plug in any headphones you want. Any headphones you want is right there.
Nice.
So I bought those. Yeah, the Turtle Beach Recon. Really, really fun for Xbox late at night, and they get really loud too, and you don't got to rock the house down. So that's what I've been playing Skyrim on.
Nice.
And I'm trying to play Skyrim a different way. And, Cecil talked about one of the G4 things. They did a Skyrim thing. It's like, here we are playing Skyrim again. It's like, you're going to be a stealth archer. And every time I would start the same character with the same qualities and go down the same path. Just not even just because that's just how I played the damn game, right?
That's why you have to exploit it so that it's just all fucked up.
So I took
at a certain point, you know what you like to do.
Well, that's what it is. It's kind of like when you go to a buffet, you just put all your favorite foods on the plate, and you're like, why don't you try something different? And I'm like, because this is what I like. I like this stuff. So I just play the Argonian that can swim underwater as long as he wants, and that's what I used to like to do. But this time I didn't. I forget what I took. I took somebody with magic because I wanted to play some magic this time. I said, I'm not going to be the archer. I'm not going to be the guy that swims in the water. I'm going to be a magic guy and cast my magic and do stuff like that. So that's what I did. But it's hard because you really got to think about doing something different, getting out of the box that you're so comfortable in. It's really weird.
Have you enjoyed doing the magic so far, or do you keep thinking, oh man, I wish I had a bow?
Well, it is the stealth range is missed, but I do like the magic because I come up and I just blast them with, I don't know if I have fire or ice or something like that, and they tend to get down easy, and I'm on easy mode anyway, and I get the healing stuff so I can heal, and I think my guy regenerates magic really fast, and I found a coat that regenerates magic faster, so I mean I've died a couple of times, but I'm just kind of just taking my time enjoying it this time, and it's just, again, it's such an enjoyable game. I really do want to try the board game. I really do, but it's just sometimes they get really complex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I bought that Dark Souls game like several years ago, like maybe 6 or 7 years ago when it was a Kickstarter. I've played it once.
Yeah.
So it was.
I haven't used the mods,
time, but yeah.
Yeah, I have not tried the mods yet. There's a lot of mods, especially on Xbox.
Blood Reaper says, Goalie, put more mods on Skyrim. You will have more fun. It is true.
I'm trying to figure out what mods I could...
on the Xbox?
Huh?
Can you do mods on the Xbox?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I forget. I don't know how to do them. I think you got to download and put them all. One of them's like a high-res graphics that's supposed to be really good. The problem is that some of the mods don't play well together. So there was a whole
That's
video.
that's the fun, is watching them not play well together.
Yeah,
it's
I suppose for
goddamn
some things.
hilarious.
Yeah, for some things it would be, but if you're kicking back at night just wanting to play and things don't work as well, you're just like,
Then you don't load the mods.
Yeah, I know. There's a couple I looked at. I just still haven't figured it out yet, so I just play the game. But I think I tried to download a better graphics pack or something, and I know you can get some crazy mods out there, but
Oh, there are some. I can't remember, but I think I showed it to you, that Spiffing Brit, where his assistant, he just let his assistant put mods on, and he just played and had no idea what the mods were, and they were awful.
Oh.
It was fucking hilarious to watch things happen, because he had no idea what was going to happen. And there was, what was it, the Ratchet and Clank one? And every time he would...
My Little Pony.
the My Little Pony mods, yep.
Horses with My Little Ponies.
There was I saw a video the other day of a guy that jumped on the head of a dragon, and he flew on the head of the dragon, and he went way up in the air. And I guess if you do that, if you jump, there's a way that you can jump, and if you pause the game and do something right before you hit the ground, you survive. And I forget what it was, but it was he'd come off the dragon's head and just whoa, all the way to the ground. And right before he got to the ground, he did like some kind of a shout or something like that, or he cast a spell and he lived. But it was neat seeing him get on the dragon's head and fly around. It was tough to do, real tough to do, So.
Trying to pull up the video. Breaking Skyrim with cursed mods.
Oh, the spiffing video?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, see, I don't know if I'd want to do that.
No, and it's not just that. It's all kinds of fun. It's just going in and being silly
yeah,
and
like
having a good
skip to the
time.
middle somewhere.
They look great, though.
That's right, Sonic. Oh,
That right. It was a Sonic, and every time he moved, it played Sonic music. Like really bad Sonic music, totally like blown out and overmodded. Oh yeah, no, it was bad. Just yeah, all kinds of bad. Anyway, it is now going on 12:30. I need to go to sleep.
Icelandic time?
12:30 at night, Icelandic time. The neighbors across the street are asleep now. I could see that because we can see into each other's houses.
do you like wave hi to each other?
No,
Do
we
hand
just stay away
signals?
from each other. It just, yeah, I mean, it's a different way of living. There's no walking around naked, although here they have no problems with naked. If you go,
When they
they're
run-
really into their baths. They have 6 different public, like huge public bath facility. They're swimming / baths /
Really?
sauna / yeah. There's like 6 of them in the city, and they're massive. And before you go in, you must shower with soap. All, like, not just like go in and kind of cursory. It is, what do they call it? Head, armpits, crotch, and head, and armpits, crotch, and feet. And they have, like, you're fully naked, taking a shower, and then putting your swimsuit on. And they have a bathroom monitor, a shower monitor, who stands there and watches you to ensure that you fully wash everything before you get into the tub.
I suppose you would have to, because that's something you wouldn't want to take on the honor system.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. They are very much into their cleanliness, very much into not polluting
But
the water that everybody else is using.
But I suppose, though, at this point here, that being the different culture, and if they don't mind walking around naked, it's not that big of a deal.
Right. It's like, it's just the way it's been. It's
Yeah.
Although,
Like-
what's the point of taking a bath after you've scrubbed yourself like that?
It's not, you're not taking a bath, it's going into the hot tub. It's a
okay.
hot, it is a boiling hot, and by the way,
So it's not a
the
bath.
hot water that comes out of the tap will give you 2nd-degree burns if you go fully hot and you stick your hand underneath it. It is that fucking hot, because it's all coming almost straight out of a lava flow, practically.
Yeah, right out of the volcano. Yeah.
It's raw out of the volcano. So everything comes out pre-hot. They have to cool it in order to bring it to your house, not heat it up.
Wow.
So the water in these tubs is very hot, and
is that
they're
the
into
place
like
we
the
go and you
Viking
see-
bath, where it's like get into a cold tub and you get yourself as cold as possibly, and then you jump into the hot tub.
Is that like the places you see the people outside sitting in the hot tubs outside? Nice. Oh, not the hot tubs, but the hot pools.
Hot
with
pools.
all the steam
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah.
They don't call them jacuzzis here. They call them massage tubs, massage pools. They have massage pools as well. But generally speaking, people, especially older people, start their day by going down to the pools and sitting with all of their friends in the pools and having a good soak before they start the day. And that starts with a full shower, being watched, and then going into the pool.
There's some lady on YouTube that I've seen, and I don't know if it's Iceland or what it is. Bitter, I will be your first customer that you want. I will be your first. Me and Nick will go in holding hands, and we will wash each other's backs, and you can check to make sure that we washed everywhere we need to wash.
Yeah, based on what Edie says, it sounds like you'll be watching a lot of old people.
Yeah, you watch a
probably
lot of old people
That's
rubbing their
what it
bums.
is.
Then it's perfect.
Yeah.
A lot of old people really getting in there with the crotch. With
This
soap.
lady on YouTube, I don't know if it was northern France or northern Iceland or I think she was in Sweden, and she walked onto the frozen lake, and they would cut like a hole in the lake, and she would, in the morning, she would go into this frozen lake and sit there for a minute. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, that is just insanely nuts. That she
Yeah,
would get
they
up
absolutely do that
in a
here.
bathrobe, walk out to the lake, and she had a bathing suit on, and she would just get into this square that they cut out, and she would sit in it like she was in a bathtub, but it's frozen. And no,
It's considered healthful is to go from
well, they said that, but
get yourself icy cold and then jump into a cool pool. Yeah,
Is
it's
it,
considered
though?
very helpful and relaxing.
so that's not for me. No, I don't like the cold stuff. I don't even like pools that are cold.
You know, like places where your balls are like curling up into your body.
It's more just the feet getting cold and stuff. It's, and then your shoulders, like you go into a cold pool, and then you dunk it, like my shoulders are cold.
Like 2 maraschino cherries and a button mushroom.
Why is everybody being so mean to me? It's like I come on here, I do you a favor, I do the third chair, I fill in for the guy that never shows up, and you start doing this to me, and I get bitter, wants to look at me naked, and tell me I got maraschino cherries, and
a button mushroom.
it's a portobello.
Baby portobello.
Hey, it may not be wide, but it sure is short.
Anyway.
Pitter patter.
Yeah.
Was it Let's Get At Her?
Pitter patter. Let's get at her.
All right. Let's close this out. Does anybody want to fake the music?
I don't know.
Oh, hold on a second. My computer's about to die. I unplugged it, and it's about to die. It's about to die, and I've got to get the thing in there. Oh!
It's like The Price is Right. It's like
Oh
The
my
Price is
God!
Right.
Quickly!
like a game
All right,
show.
there we go.
It's like a game show.
Thank you for listening to GameHounds, episode 618, live from Reykjavik, Iceland, with Edie Sellers, Nick DiNicola, and our special guest, Holy Gully. You can get a hold of us by going to gamehounds.net, or you can email us at gamehounds@gmail.com. We record this show live every Sunday, no matter where we are, on Spreaker. That's speaker with an R, Spreaker.com. You can check us out. That is the audio podcast, and if you want to do it live, you can absolutely join us there. Thank you so much to AC Ray for providing all the links within that. We record 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. You can also check us out after the fact as a podcast, an audio podcast on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, pretty much wherever there's a podcast, you will find us. If you want to watch us as a video show, we do simulcast a video, the live recording, the audio recording. The video show can be found in 3 places. You can watch us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. On Facebook and Twitch, we are The GameHounds. On YouTube, we are GameHounds Vids. That's VIDS, as in videos. If you ever want to support the video show, please do so. $1 a month is all we ask. We do 4 shows a month at a minimum. That's 25 cents a show. All you have to do is go to Patreon. That's patreon.com/GameHounds. And also, don't forget, we do have a Discord server. We would love to have you join us there. That's where a lot of people are. In fact, Blood Reaper is constantly posting stuff.
That's where I got most of the news this week.
It's where if you want to find out what Nick is going to talk about, because Nick cheats, doesn't do his own work, go to Patreon. Or if you have something that you would like Nick and us to talk about, go to Discord and put it into the news tips. Nick will find it and he will use it. Nick, thank you for joining us once again and being my second wheel. Goalie, thank you for being the third wheel on this one.
Bitter, I found my bathing suit, Bitter. So when I come over and you can watch me, I found my bathing suit. So I will be in the shower and you can make sure that I get everything washed that needs to be washed. All
right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
All right, so that is the audio show out. Video show, I would love to sit and talk and do an after show. I've got to go to sleep. I haven't had dinner yet, so I've got to go eat, like, something. I've got a loaf of bread. Yeah, I bought all this tuna fish.
Go get a cinnamon roll.
Yeah, they're closed. They're opening. They're opening in 4 hours. So it'd be away. But I got tuna fish, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make myself a tuna fish sandwich, and there's no can opener here. So.
Oh. You gotta open it like a caveman. Just like throw it against the wall until you can pop something.
Yeah, no, there's no insurance there, Airbnb, for that one.
Just take some of the metal prongs on the outlet and just.
I could do that, but no. All right, everyone. See y'all later. Bye, everyone. We'll be back. I'll be here from Sweden. I'll be here from Iceland next week as well. And if you have any suggestions for me or what to do to Reykjavik, let me know. I'm here. Bye, everyone.